Let's do the do. Hopefully that... Did that work? Did that go through? Go through. Yeah, it worked. Yes. Welcome to another Warpstone Cup. Now, today we've got 4 lovely contestants. Go ahead and press that button and transition. Whoa! So today we have Sotek versus Jordan, and we also have King of the Dead versus Hadres. They'll be our other match after this today. Jordan will be playing the lovely Dark Elves against Loremaster of Sotek's Beastmen. If you don't know Jordan, you should know his handiwork. Anytime you watched the Ever-Chosen Invitational ×2, or the second one, he was on the production team from CA. Jordan actually works at Creative Assembly, and he was responsible for a lot of the master cuts that you saw along with the rest of the production team, Tom, Guy, Mattis. So he's you've probably seen him actually on the streams if you watch any of the streams on Twitch. That's Jordan. General Kenobi. Let's see here. As always, I have to check behind me for cats, because who wants them in their life? Making sure everything is up and at 'em. Just as a real quick refresher on the rules here, guys, this is going to be 2 best of 3s, followed by a final, which is a best of 5s. Best of 5s? A best of 5. All donations that happen during the stream, 25% of them go towards the winner of the Warpstone Cup. So hopefully we'll have some good fun here today. We have quite a few of you guys joining in already. 84 of you guys are here. Don't forget to smash that like button, thumb me all hard. We got Janet on occasion in chat. Whiskey Jack is here. Crisps. We got tons of people watching in. So let's jump into our first game. Dark Elves versus the Beastmen. All right, let me give them the cool go ahead. You guys are good to go. Now, this is going to be a fun fight. We talk about this till we're blue in the face, but just making sure the fan's on me too, because you get a lot of heat in a room like this. But we've got Dark Elves, which we always talk about are one of the top picks, right? They're always at the very top end of the power spectrum, especially right now. Dark Elves, Wood Elves, they're really up there. And the Beastmen, they kind of can run nasty. They can go all over the place, doing a lot of different things depending on your build. Loremaster of Sotek is no stranger to the tournament scene, and Jordanator has been running a train in the Creative Assembly office. So I'm curious to see how this matchup goes. Our first match is on the Altdorf outskirts. A fan favorite. I think it's probably one of the most just kind of vanilla, flat, straightforward maps to get into, so it'll be a nice little jump in. Thanks, Professor Pop. What tiny interface? What are you talking about, Stannis? Is the scoreboard too small? Yeah, do let me know if any asset is too small. I can increase it in size. We were saying that it was too large last time, so I went to make it a bit bigger. It looks pretty good on the screen. Oh, our first donation, $10 by D Bison. That is going to go towards the winner, as always, guys. Or it looks fine to me anyway. Okay, just double checking. For some reason, my mic has a weird tendency to cut out. I've been trying to pinpoint it. I got this whole new pack of cables I gotta install, so if that does happen, just spam in chat. I will see it out of the corner of my eye. So D Bison, thank you for your first donation, or for the first donation towards the Warpstone Cup. I gotta make one. I gotta design one. Zach, wait, that's the notification that happens anytime someone donates. I've got it on PayPal. So down, if you want to use the donation link down below, it's better because we get almost 100% of the donation. Otherwise, it kind of just bottoms out and you get like 30% of it because of YouTube. Sorry, let's go over these armies here. So, Jordanator has gone with some Dark Elves. Let's see. Okay. Dude's gone with 3 Dark Spears here. 3 units of Dark Shards, which are going to be a little hard here to use. They do have a lot of great missile damage, but if Loremaster of Sotek has a lot of really good backline harassment in the way of Centaurs, he's just going to run through these Dark Shards. He's gone with Malekith? Oh no, just a Dreadlord Sword and Shield on a beautiful black dragon. We have a Sorceress of Death with... What is that? Well, it's definitely Soul Leech. I can never quite do this right? There we... Oh, God, I can't do it. Okay, well, she's got the scroll. The scroll itself is a really cool wind attack that you guys will see shortly here. And Doom and Darkness, I believe that is. Oh, that's Aspect of the Dread Knight. I can't see 100%. But two spells that are actually going to be pretty good here when you're dealing with low morale infantry, such as the lovely Beastmen. No mic. Armithiad. There is a mic. Go to hell, dude. Okay, let's see what else we got. A Feral Manticore. Again, a pretty interesting choice here, but it does cause terror. It can really get in that backline and muck things up. So I'm pretty interested to see how this little bad boy does into action. Look at that thing. Look at those teeth. Look at those tusks. Look at those bat wings. Ugh. Soulblight. Thank you very much, Bat Cow. You'd think I've done this before in front of a larger audience. Scrub sometimes. 2 units of Cold One Knights, which are pretty good here. I do like their anti-large and AP characteristics. For 1,000 points, you can get a pretty good value out of them. Though, of course, the worst thing about them is their Rampage mechanic. That Rampage mechanic is pretty deadly. As soon as they hit below 50% health, you lose complete control of them. So I cannot stress enough how dangerous that is, but if you use them strategically, you can really get some good charges in with them. And then a nice front line here of both Harganeth Executioners and the Blades of the Blood Queen. As we know, guys, these guys do have Guardian, given that 18% physical resistance buff. Can't stress that enough, how awesome that is. That is so huge. It makes these guys such a veritable tank. Okay, so I'm going to have them just go ahead and go as we talk about Sotek's army, which looks like he went high and tight here, right? So quite the large army, a lot of Ungor Spearmen, a lot of Ungor herds as a whole. Got some good Beastigors here. Beastigors are your only real elite infantry choice for the Beastmen. They are AP. They do have these nice, pretty heavy, badass looking weapons here. I do love me some... Honestly, when I was picking Beastmen, Bestigors are always my favorite. I love it so much. Alright, just checking real quick. Making sure my mic's working here. Lovely Gore herds as well as... the Destroyers of Drakval. Now, these guys are pretty cool here because they are anti-large and they're pretty fearsome. I actually really enjoy this Regiment Renown unit for the Beastmen, so I'm glad to see them in the army. I think we'll probably have the Regiment Renown... there we go. Korok Man Rippers here as well. Now, these guys, unlike your other Bestigors, these have anti-large on top of their AP characteristics, so a lot of really cool stats there. We got a Gore herd as well with shields, and some Beastmen firing, which is great. Ungor Raiders as a whole can really dish out a ton of damage. They're not really great one-on-one, but if you have 3 or 4 of them, they're so cheap. I think it's like 350, 400 points for them. You can dish out so much missile damage. We have a Brave Shaman of Death here on a... Oh! So do keep in mind, though, all of these little Ungors here do have stock, as well as these Ungor Raiders as well. Oh, man, you can see here that the Sigor's already chucking off down lane. This is the Eye of Morrslieb, so he is the Regiment Renown version. He's already targeted these Blades of the Blood Queen, which is a very good choice here. With the Dark Charge shooting into some Regiments of Renown there. We have... Everything's kind of advancing as a whole, which is pretty good here, but no tomfoolery here. Only 1 unit of Senegors in the back. I was expecting a little bit more. Oh, yeah. Get that juicy charge in. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. We got a Fate of Buna kicking off right on top of those Blades of the Blood Queen. We got a Feral Manticore dropping onto those Ungor Raiders. Oof. Spawn summoned up here. I forgot to even go over the Lord. Where is he? I mean, we know who it is if there's a spawn. It's Morgar the Shadowgrave. So Morgar can summon up spawns. I think he's probably the most competitive of Lords. Oh man, you've got both of the Ungor Raiders are now completely shut down. You've got some backline play here. The Senegors and the Chaos Hounds have both jumped onto these Cold One Knights. You've got another unit of Cold One Knights here looking to do a flanking charge onto that Ungor herd. Maybe alleviate some of the tension going here. That Feral Manticore is just kind of running amok over here by these Ungor Raiders, but it's still doing a little bit of a job. You know, it's shutting down the Raiders so they can't get some shots on as the spawn kind of move on to their new target, which is kind of pancaking these Cold One Knights. It's like a Beastman Dark Elf pancake here, right? Chaos Spawn, Cold One Knights, Ungor Herd, Dread Spears, so it is just kind of insane. Got the Dread Spears focusing on the Brave Shaman as best they can. We are starting to see some routing from Jordan. This is not looking too good. The balance of power has already pretty significantly shifted towards Loremaster of Sotek here. Got Dread Spears trying to focus down on Morgar the Shadow Gave, as I was so crudely pointed out. Undertaken #1, I saw that. Got the Beastmen line kind of holding up against these Cold One Knights. They really don't stand much of a chance here, though, against this kind of combined offensive of these Beastmen. Hey, Ritual. Spawn looking to hunt down some more Dark Shards. I have Morsleeve just haphazardly chucking whole chunks of Warpstone down lane. Okay. Yeah, you know that's always going to happen every time I do anything on this computer. Shadowgave is just giving it though, right? He's just kind of putting it in those executioners, getting it done and over with. As you can see, the battleground is pretty one-sided here. The Beastmen do have a lot of the upper hand, but you can see that Soulblade has been kicked off over here. It is kind of neutralizing a lot of these Beastmen. They are starting to rout pretty heavily. You've got the lovely Lord here. I almost said Malekith, but Dreadlord getting in and getting some fear or terror routing going on. It's going kind of a little lopsided all of a sudden. The Dark Shards are coming back online, trying to get some shots into these Gore Herds and Korok Man Rippers. Oof. Those Blades of the Blood Queen got eaten up. They were just the first target for Sotek, which is honestly not a bad target. It's interesting to see Sotek go with less pressure on the backline. Typically when you have Beastmen, one of the biggest and one of their best strategies, and you can see right here, a really awesome strategy that Sotek used. He put the Eye of Morsleeve, the Cygor, deep embedded inside these Ungor Spearmen. So as Jordan charges in, he has no choice. Oh, Jesus. He just slaps that guy down. Has no choice but to get just completely attacked by all these Ungor Spearmen, which it doesn't seem huge, but Ungor Spearmen are actually pretty quick on their feet. At 41 speed, they can keep up with the dragon that's trying to get back in the air and keeping it on the ground. So that's pretty substantial. Let's see here. We do have the Sorceress of Death starting to go out off the battlefield, and I think army losses are kicking in. That's going to be the first win for Loremaster of Sotek. And it was a pretty interesting, both by pretty interesting armies here. Like I said, I usually expect a lot more Centaur play with Beastmen, especially with the ability to do heavy anti-large damage, heavy AP damage, so and anti-infantry, depending on how you want to kit them out. They're a very, very strong, versatile unit for the Beastmen, and it's one of those things that can really just break the back of most opponents. So really great play there by choosing a much more diverse and different army from Loremaster of Sotek. Now, as far as Jordan's army goes, got a lot of kills with that Dreadlord, jumping into some Ungor Raiders, just kind of eating them whole. It kind of helped shut down a little bit of the Ungor Raider damage. You know, they only got one kill between the two of them. But again, they're such a cheap unit that it forced Jordan to shut them down with the Feral Manticore, with the Dreadlord, so he couldn't use what was effectively, over 3,000 points of, or 3,000 gold of units on different, more high-value targets. So there is that. And the Cold One Knights, they did perform pretty well here, but of course, the Harganeth Executioners are going to cut up so many of those Bestigors. The Blades of the Blood Queen did get put down pretty hard, though, by a concerted effort of the Eye of Morsleeve, the Shaman jumping in there, Fit of Bune on them as well. So it was a pretty brutal little first game there. Let's jump on over to our second. Let me update this real quick. Being a one-man production team means you get to do everything on the fly. Give me 1 second, guys. There it is. Yes, replace it. And there you go. We should be all copacetic. Round 2's coming up here. Jordan on Empire and Loremaster Sotek playing his favorite, the Lizardmen. Let's see what I'm missing here in the chat. Phenomenon core is tough to make work. Rampage in moments. Totally true. I don't know if that's John Ton or if that's Sakarma, but hey, Total Brohammer. Titanic Tuner, how are you? How come the Beastmen chariots resist so well against range units? Even in my campaign, they seem to dodge everything. I couldn't give you an honest answer for that. I think they have a pretty good stat line, but as a whole, it's very hard to focus down a single unit with archers is when they're chariots or lower. Like if it's just a single guy on a horse or a single unit on foot, or it seems to be just a single chariot unit, it seems to be hard to hit them. What? Could I get a report? What's our like to view ratio right now, guys? Let's let's go ahead and have them start the next game. Get a fun little thing going here. What's it called? What's it called? What's it called? When you do a pull. Haha! Shall win the next game. Sotek or Jordan. Alright guys, we got a little poll up for you guys to kind of jump in, take part of. If you do want to vote on it, it is exclamation point, vote either 1 or vote either 0. 0 is for Sotek, 1 is for Jordan. You don't need to put parentheses in there, it's just the letter. So for instance, that's how you would do it. That's how you vote for one person. You don't have to put the parentheses in. I wish I had like hold music for the loading screen. Da 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 da. This is mainly why I watch you guys vote and decide to end it as soon as both the armies are placed. Do I buy 2 point? Daniel, apparently it's got really good reviews, man. Nice to see a streamer you don't lose. You know what, Dr. Zero, why don't you just stop it? Okay, so we have our match here. Let's go ahead and end that poll. Let's see what our results are. Ooh. Pretty split here, right? Jordan won the votes with 9, but Sotek had 8. So it was a pretty close one. So let's take a look at Sotek's army since we looked at Jordan's the first time. It's gonna be a draw, guys. He's starting with the lovely Toilet Master himself, not Mazdamundi, just a Slann Mage Priest that is of the high magic variation. You can also see from this close-up that his nipple is conveniently covered this time around, but don't worry guys, Mazdamundi is fully unedited. You can see that full-on nipple shot every time you go to him. He does have a Saurus on, a Saurus Old Blood, wherever he went, on a Carnosaur, so that's always a really strong option here. I love this model. So, Scar Veteran, sorry, Old Blood is the general. And that's going to be pretty great here because it's going to be able to crack open a lot of the heavier armored, larger things that you are going to get in an Empire line. So any of the Altdorf Griff fights, any of the lords on, say, a Griffin mount, he can jump up there and crack that open pretty hard and heavy. Just making sure my mic is still working, as always. I got a good line of skin cohorts. I think there's probably going to be 2 of those. Yeah, 2 lines of skin cohorts. Now, the skin cohorts are cohorts, like, you know, KOTOR, Nice Little Republic. Cohorts are very fast. Let's get a little zoomy zoom on them. So they have a great speed of 46. So with that speed, they can really jump in there and get in the back line. They can wrap around here. Sotek went very wide. He did this in his last play as well, but he went with some Temple Guard here. He went with some normal Saurus Warriors, more Temple Guard, more Saurus Warriors, which is great because the Saurus Warriors themselves are very strong. They can crack open the shell of most things pretty great. But on top of it, why would reptiles have nipples? 1850 John, you don't know a goddamn thing about lizards. All lizards have nipples. Fact. T-Rex, biggest nipples in the animal kingdom. Oh my God. I can't even keep a straight face on that one. The Temple Guard are really strong here, though, too, because they are armored. So unless Jordan brings great swords in a melee situation, and they're going to be hard to crack open unless you do have halberdiers. Now, he does have 2 skirmisher units, which are good because they can actually output quite a huge volume of fire, and they are poison attacks that will slow down anything that they shoot into. And you have a Skink Chief here to add additional use of cold blood. I'll tell them to get going while I look at Jordan's army. So Jordan went with a vanguard of Outriders here. Pretty interesting choice. They do have AP. It's pretty much here is just going to be the point of just getting some initial shots on. With 130 range, they'll be able to just barely outrange our Skink Skirmishers by, you know, double. So they'll be able actually to get shots on the Skink Skirmishers and neutralize them if they need to, but those AP volleys are going to be good to get some just initial shots on anything they can in the armored line of the Lizardmen. Looking at the rest of his army, though, he went with some... I think this is the... so Tattersouls, the Flagellants. I wanted to say Zealots for some reason. Now, these guys are going to be pretty interesting choice here. They don't have AP, so they're going to be hard to kind of break open the Temple Guard. But they are an anti-infantry damage dealer, frenzy type character, or unit that is going to be able to jump in and really do quite a bit of damage, along with an Empire Captain. So they're going to be held down very well. That frenzy mechanic is make sure they're not going to rout at all. We were talking about greatswords. Here we go. These guys are going to be the bane of the Temple Guard. Backed up with some halberdiers in the back line, and then what looks to be the Sigmar Sons, and then another unit of just normal swordsmen. On the hill, he's got a steam tank. Ooh, the silver bullets, which I think actually are a little wasted here. That magic damage isn't going to be so huge against these guys. He could have just gone with normal handgunners here. Outdoor Griffites, Royal Outdoor Griffites as well, and Karl Franz on a Griffin. Now, Karl Franz is a little bit more of a glass cannon by comparison to Boris Tidebringer, but he is still a very good lord here. In this matchup, he can really get up close and personal and smack those Slan Mage Priest titties around. Oh, I couldn't even keep a straight face saying that. So we have some Skink Skirmisher action, getting that back line. These guys are just going to be harassing the whole entire game. I know it. We have that Skirmisher action up. Whoa, that jumped up way faster than I thought it would. The Outriders kind of getting some initial shots and volleys into the Skink cohort. The Skink cohorts are very good at hunting down initial kind of skirmishes into range units. So a pretty good use there by just kind of not using any of your main force to attack them. Just use Skink cohorts. They're not going to be great here for a lot of the frontline fighting. Uh-oh, Tempest to lock this down. So this is an upgraded Tempest too, so this is really going to lock him down for a long time. You've got the Skink skirmishers poisoning him and keeping him on the lockdown. Oh, the steam tank already pouring into these Temple Guard. This is going to be a very rough mashup. The Tattersouls are not meant to really go toe-to-toe with an armored unit like that, so this is going to be pretty rough and tumble. You can see the Skink Chief already just above the line, just kind of shooting down into things. Uh-oh, this Colwyn Rider is going right for this steam tank. Although these Saurus Warriors don't have any anti-large, they're going to lock that steam tank down. You got the... Oh, man, look at this. Altdorf Griffites, in conjunction with the Saurus Scar Veteran, Deadly Onslaught, Foe Seeker, Potion of Strength, all popped, ready to rip apart these Griffites. The Halberdiers coming in there to trying to relieve them. Hopefully this Slan Mage Priest can get out of there quickly, because I think that... Uh-oh. Where'd Franzia go? Franz on a rogue rampage over there, trying to get into those skirmishers. I thought he was going to be for sure jumping into this Slan Mage Priest's titties. Just kind of get a better through. Okay, looks like that... Banishment just missed these Silver Bullets. Silver Bullets getting some shots onto the Saurus Scar Veteran, which is a very good target for them. Probably one of the better targets they can choose right now. Getting those Halberdiers on them as well, that should really help to put them down fast. The Altdorf Griffites still are on the fight, and if they can get through that fight somehow, they'll be in really good shape. But you do have this here. You get these Skink cohorts with javelins. This is one of the best ways to take cohorts. You take them with javelins. They'll be just very much like... Oh, get in there, get in there. They'll be just like Roman... cohorts, throwing like their pilums first. You can use them, use their ammunition, which will exhaust quickly, then you can get them into combat. They have the exact same combat stats as your normal Skink cohort. Lizardmen is going flying. Tempest locking down Karl Franz again, which is super dangerous here. Karl Franz has not been able to really get in the fight here. If he is able to get over there and hit up this slot and Mage Priest, maybe for for some things like, sexual favors, he might be able to really kind of put a huge swap in this balance of power. But for now, it's still pretty tied. The Empire hasn't lost this by any stretch of the imagination, and the Lizardmen have not put this one in the bag just yet. So we do have to see where... Uh-oh. That's very dangerous. Remember my statement when I said what I said? Uh-oh. Alrighty here. Shield of the Old One's kicking off here. Magic resistance is great and all, but it doesn't look like we have to worry about much of that right now. Empire Captain, like I was saying, just kind of holding that line. The Empire Captain is so durable. I mean, 85 armor isn't too shabby, and melee defense of 40, but for some reason he just seems to always stay there for fucking ever. The Skink Chief has just been here the entire time, just shooting down at things. The steam tank has met its match. Jurassic Park. Oh! Look at that Scar Veteran just... This is a tale for the ages. The Rock is for sure in that steam tank, just screaming out of his mind and smiling, because that's what The Rock does. Oh! Tail whip onto the steam tank. Emperor Captain falling. Looks like we're getting army losses across the board for the Empire here, as Loremaster of Sotek pulls ahead 2-0. Well, looks... Oh, there it is. It's just so brutal. I think Karl Franz is gone. I don't see him on the map anymore. And it looks like that's a pretty foregone conclusion at this point. We're just kind of taking up sweeping up some remaining halberdiers, getting things kind of tidied up. I think all that's left is really the Sigmar Sons, which have Frenzy. So, a very great play here by Loremaster Sotek both times. Both armies, very... banishment right over the Slan himself. Both of his armies, in both the Beastmen and both the Lizardmen, were a little more unconventional, right? Usually you see stuff a little bit wider, you know, a little more skin cohort play, because skin cohorts can trade very well with a lot of the typical front line of your empire. But what Sotek did was he anchored his line very well with very heavily armored Temple Guard and Saurus Warriors, and then used skin cohorts on the flanks, along with the Scar Veteran and the Cold One Spear Riders to really threaten the large things. Now, for Jordan, what he did well here is he had a lot of halberdiers. He could have actually spared one unit of swordsmen for another unit of halberdiers to really add that AP anti-large threat to his army. And maybe not using those silver bullets would have been a huge advantage, because it just would have given him, not a huge advantage, but it would have given him a little bit more funds to play with, to maybe squeeze in a whole other unit of something else. Let's take a look in a book. Looks we've got 151 people here watching today. Great to see you guys joining in. What, can I get a report? Whiskey Jack, what's our likes to views, brother? Alright, yeah, I mean, 87 and 88 kills in those Temple Guard. Really got their money's worth there. Saurus Warrior just definitely just using their beat sticks, their shillelaghs, putting it around town. And if we take a look at, I mean, Jordan's army never really got a chance to really take off. I feel like the Tattersouls got a really inopportune charge on those Temple Guard, and that was like, that neutralized such a huge portion and functionality of these guys. They wouldn't have been like, you know, the beater of worlds against Saurus Warriors, but they would have done a lot better, I feel. Steam Tank, though, 55 kills. Look at it. Just getting in there, getting dirty. But we have our final here. Loremaster of Sotek, moving on. He is the winner of... Oh, I'm screwing up everything as I try to edit this. He is the winner of the first match here, guys. As always, any donations that you throw in today, 25% of them do go towards the winners. So if you want to bet towards... if you want to donate towards the person you want to win, or whatever the hell you want to do, all that does go towards the winner of said game. That should update there. We have Sotek beating Jordan 2-0. Let's see if they're over here in Discord chat. All right, jumping in.
Who doesn't like
oh my.
Serpent God?
Sotek and Jordan. That was a good first match.
A few rookie mistakes.
So Sotek, I noticed on both your armies you went with like, so for the Beastmen you didn't go with a lot of Senegors, and for the Lizardmen you went with a little bit of a wider army. What was your reasoning behind said things?
So honestly, I just struggle a little bit, it seems, if my opponent outnumbers me. So recently I've been trying to go with wider builds, because the thing that I struggle with a lot is if my opponent, especially like Empire or Dark Elves, for instance, if they have ranged units, I often struggle trying to get behind them and get into the ranged units. But if I outnumber them by a buttload, then it's a lot easier to have a single unit that's dedicated to just slip around the back and take people out. That's probably the biggest reason. Now, I don't necessarily play all my armies like that, but the thing is, if you run a wider army, you can afford to kind of not be as good as a microing, in my opinion, because all the units are cheaper, so they don't matter as much. You know, if I'm playing Beastmen and I've got 4 units of Centaurs and I goof up and lose like 2 of them, that's a lot of value gone.
True. Okay, I could see that. I could definitely see that. But I liked both armies. I mean, they were different, they were unique, and I think they got the job done. Jordan, on the other hand, what were some of the thoughts behind your picks, your choices for both the Empire and the Dark Elves? Because, I mean, your Dark Elf army was really strong with your Blades of the Blood Queen. Your Empire army was really strong here with a pretty good, solid front line. Like, what are some of the things that you felt like, oh man, that really didn't work out for me as soon as the battle started? Like, you're like, shit.
Steam Tank getting closed down pretty fast. That was not good. Did not realise. Yeah, that was poor. Outriders only got put to use at the start. I switched them out for the Steam Tank, and I should have had 2 with grenade launchers. That would actually done a lot there to maybe disperse the skinks early on. Yeah, maybe can we utilise the Demigryph Knights better. Cycled a bit more. Like the cavalry kind of got dealt with, but not the Carnosaur. And he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Dark Elves I was pretty happy with, to be honest. They just
Yeah.
kind of fell apart. Maybe some swordsmen, as there wasn't that much large, but obviously I forgot the two Chaos Spawn that he can bring in. So they kind of closed in and done a lot of the anti-infantry there. So yeah, I think that's the lot. Good learning curve. Really good games. Much appreciated.
Well, thanks, man, for joining us here. Loremaster of Sotek, as you guys know, is I could say like my not like a partner in crime, but he does equivalent lore videos. He has.
Oh, okay. You don't care about our friendship? I see how it is.
It's a relationship, not a friendship. You
No,
dolt.
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
But head on over to Loremaster of Sotek's channel if you want to get. I'd say he does a little bit better at deep dive into lore. Like I'll cover Archaon in a 10-minute video. He'll cover Archaon in a 2-hour video and give you a little bit more as like how the lore has evolved across characters. Wouldn't you say, Loremaster? Or was there a different way you want to plug your channel?
I would say that my pitch is that I dive into every single source that the character has available and try and compose a complete timeline, which takes a lot of time and effort. That would be my specialty, I think.
I would 100% agree. Jordan, on the other hand, he is a part of the production team over at Creative Assembly. You've probably seen him on live streams with Whelan on Total War Official's Twitch. So if you haven't, head on over to Total War Official, sign up on that Twitch, and you can see Jordan talking about his burrito, which is not a metaphor. It's a literal burrito he was trying to eat during the Rome launch. And if you saw the Everchosen 2, he was part of, like I was saying, he's part of the production team that allowed it to look so damn badass the whole time.
Well, thank you very much. That's very kind. Food struggles on stream are real, number one. And I'm dying right now, so I was dying for that burrito. And otherwise, yeah, very very proud to be part of the content team, trying to piece together bits and bobs and stuff here and there. It's fun. Very much.
Well, we're glad to have you. Both of you gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here. Sotek, you are moving on to the next round, so you get to take a little bit of a break. Jordan, you get to go eat.
I literally am. I got cheese on toast, racked and ready. I didn't deserve it. I'm gonna have it anyway. I'll come back.
Cheese on toast? Is that a grilled cheese? Is that the British way of saying that?
Oh yeah, you know, Master. It's definitely grilled cheese.
They have a whole different vernacular. It's beautiful and exciting all at once. All right, gentlemen, we're gonna get the next one started. Thanks for joining us here. We'll see you in a little bit, Sotek.
Okay.
Bye, guys. All right, so we're gonna jump over to our round 2 match in about a minute and a half. What the fuck did I press? I'm gonna put up a quick splash screen. We're gonna take a real quick, like a minute and a half break, guys. I just have to switch some assets in OBS so that it looks kind of what I want it to be. So give me a second here. We'll be back in just a little bit. So let's go ahead and... Where is my music? I'm actually gonna take a look at chat before we jump onto that, because I saw some stuff and I want to be able to talk to it. Wait a minute. Justin donated. Thank you very much for your donation, Justin. I'm sorry I did not catch that the second you did it. Let's take a look at how much you donated so I can make a comment about that. Why is my Streamlabs in Italian? Is this a hack? Go ahead and get some music going here. All right. Loudest music in the world. As always, guys, like I've been saying, those donations do go towards the prize pool. 25% of it, the winner does take away for themselves. Take a look here. So Justin's donation says it's $26, and it says for Sotek's master of shifting the scales, quote unquote, in his favor. Thank you, Justin, very much for your cheeky comment. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break here. Give me about a minute or two. Gonna change up some assets. We'll be back in just a little bit. Music on. Okay, back at it. All right, so we have... Oh, good. Hadres versus King of the Dead. This is our next matchup here. Oh, hey, Spartacus. So Hadres will be the Dark Elves, and King of the Dead will be playing Chaos here. Didn't hear a cat. Jesus Christ. I think I'm paranoid as hell. I got our next poll went off. Who would you rather be, Vlad's wife, Isabella, or his nose? Vergihin. I'm not going to say that out loud, Dawi Pest Control, because I know it's probably something bad I shouldn't say out loud. You guys all talking German here. This is the techno. You guys like the techno remix I found on the internet, you know? Listen to it real loud. Just uns beats. With this hot young thing named Hans. I think we're all good to go. Okay. Get our next one going, next one going. A lot of Dark Elf play. Dark Elf's pretty common in the competitive circuit. Vlad's nose, for sure. Let's see what those poll results are. So it looks like the contestants for the Warpstone Cup you can see in the description below. So we have Hadres and King of the Dead versus Loremaster of Sotek. I'm sorry, Hadres and King of the Dead. And then we had Jordan and Loremaster of Sotek. So the winner of this best of 3 will go on to play Loremaster of Sotek. And it looks like you guys want to be Vlad's wife more so than you want to be his nose, which is just concerning. What am I getting that video of you? I need it raw. Tenek tuna. Get all flustered, man. Okay, so Hadres went with a lot of micro play here. He's going to be going with 3 Dark Riders with repeater crossbows, some Cold One Knights, another unit of Cold One Knights. The chill of Sontar, my bros. So this guy gets frostbite, causes terror, does regeneration, and he's also got AP. King of Jizzle, thank you very much for your donation, bro. Appreciate it. I didn't see how much it was for, so let me take a look. Oh, it's for $2. Thank you very much, King. We'll throw that into the giant pit of funds that are going towards everything. All right, so, so the Ice Hydra is in the match here. Frostbite is huge because it does give you that. Let me see if I can do it. There it is. So it reduces speed of everything that it hits, kind of like a poison attack, but only it is pretty awesome. I really enjoy the Frostbite mechanic, so I'm pretty excited to see it back in the game with Norska and everything. We see some Witch Elves coming in here as well. We see 3 units of Dread Spears, including... Oh man, I thought the Hellbrand and I were in it. The whole rest of the tournament in the chill voice. Guys, I'm from Southern California. This is what people sound like outside my door. Then we have Supreme Sorceress of Death on a horse here, so this alleviates a lot of funds to put towards other things here. Pretty interesting. We see Soul Blight, we see Fate of our Spirit Leech as well. Nice little Arcane Conduit, always need that. And then, a very uncommon pick, Repeater Bolt Thrower. No ranks on this bad boy, so I'm very, very curious to see how Hadres has both these guys in use here. He's got Dread Spears in front of them to kind of absorb any charges, so this will be very, very fun to see. Now, as far as Chaos goes, we see some Marauder Horsemasters from King of the Dead. Now, this is very common. These guys have been pretty much a huge mainstay of both Norskin and King of the Dead and Chaos armies. So it's really, really cool to see them here because there's gonna be a lot of microplay here, guys. I mean, 3 units of Dark Riders, 2 units of Cold One Knights. Now, and what? Almost 5, or is it 5? No, it's 4 total units of Marauder Horsemen. So there's going to be a lot going on. 2 units of Chaos Chariots, not the Gore Beast Chariots. Chaos Chariots are better here because they're anti-infantry. The Gore Beast Chariots are anti-infantry and AP, a little bit slower. These guys are going to get a better charge out of them. Going to be a little bit more impactful for the line that is consistent of Dark Elves. If you're playing against Dwarfs, you'd want those Gore Beasts a little bit more. Now a backline of Chaos Marauders to kind of push in here alongside those Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Great weapons are going to mulch through any of the heavy armor of the Dark Elves, but interesting note here, there is not a single elite infantry unit, aside from, which are not really elite. Oh, I was totally full of shit. This is the only elite infantry unit in Hadres' armor, the Executioners. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out here. Along with Sartoriel, the Birdmaster himself, as I just screw up that. Look at that guy, dude. You know what's unfortunate? Can't see Sartoriel's nipples. How great would that be? Let's take a look here. Not enough Colex in that army. And we've got 2 units of halberds. Guess what it was, halberds. So these Marauders here can probably be used to either push into any kind of opening that the Chaos Warriors generate or move into the sides here. So this is going to be a very interesting fight. I'm very curious to see how this kind of opening initial engagement goes, because both of them don't know they're right in front of each other. The KFC Lord himself! Turin's here!
Behold, true power.
Look at that. Fucking land pigeon. What a great name for him. Alright. Got the anti-large bolts from the bolt throwers kicking off down here. Kind of getting some shots into these Marauder Horsemasters. Again, just some prodding shots here, just getting some initial picks, any kind of damage. Got some Chaos Warhounds with poison coming in. If those things get onto those Dark Riders, they'll be able to lock them down so that the Marauder Horsemen can pick them apart. But as you can see, these Repeater Crossbowmen are not too shabby, right? I mean, they still do AP damage with their missiles, which isn't going to be huge here, but still, they're getting ridden down by all these Horsemasters. Kind of getting pushed back and forth, Got a Spirit Leech kicking off on them as well. Chaos Warhounds looking to lock them down. Now, the anti-large bolt throwers into the Chaos Chariots is going to do quite a bit of damage, because those are the AP anti-large variants of them. Watch it. Oh! Surprised that one didn't blow up. Yeah, the majority of the army moving in this direction, while we have the skirmishers kind of like dancing over here. The Supreme Sorceress kind of involved with all of them. The Cold Ones Knights here are involved as well, because they do have that anti-large. They can put down these guys pretty quickly before moving over to some of the larger targets over here. One of the Chaos Chariots already out of commission, though. Those bolt throwers being used to getting pretty good use here. Little Centaur, is it gonna happen, bro? Unleash your chill breath, bro! Now you got these Horsemasters trying to get up in that back line as they chase these Dark Riders off. Uh-oh. Land Pigeon just getting rolled over by the Chill of Centaur. Get a better shot here of everything. As you can see, this is how the battlefield's kind of playing out. We gotta watch. He does have to watch out for these Witch Elves. These Witch Elves get up close and personal. They're going to lock these 2 units down and keep them where they are with using their poison. Uh-oh. Yeah, as I can see. Oh, there it is. See, Soulblight kicking off here as well. That huge -2 armor. But these poisons from those Witch Elf is going to take out both these things and just kind of lock them where they are. The Chill Centaur already knee-deep in some great weapons here, which is not a really good engagement for them, because those great weapons are not going to be able to do as much damage as, say, the Halberd variation is. That Chill Centaur is also... Oh! A nice charge here into these Dread Spears. Just really quick, pushing on out of them as soon as you make contact. Tons of... spear chucking going on. You have one of these whole entire bolt throwers down and out. Another one is in threat of a charge in the rear from these Marauder Horsemen. You have the Chill of Centaur just kind of like whipping all wildly through everything. These Chaos Warriors halberds can help really put it down, though. There it is. So it's a charge into this Peter bolt thrower. That's going to help kind of put that down as well. Those Marauder Horsemen are just running wild in the back line. Chill of Centaur going right in for the Land Pigeon. Oh, sick wipeout, bro. Getting a little Spirit Leech off onto the Land Pigeon as well. Oh, man. Things are going wild across this. Trying to make sure we get a good line of sight of everything. I mean, at this point, the Marauder Horsemen are now pretty much free to use their ranged attacks against everything. Yeah, because there's only one Dark Rider online. Arthuriel, though, is in pretty good shape. He has a nice little cadre with him, but as soon as these Argonauth Executioners get on these Chaos Warriors, it's going to be pretty bad news. On top of The Dread Spears and the Chill Sontar looking to hunt him through the night, dude. Look at that. With the Reaper, or the Repeater Bolt Thrower. Reaper Bolt Thrower. Why are you killing the Repeater? Getting back online. Hopefully we can jump onto these. Final Transmutation? No, Soul Blight again. Soul Blight being really strong here because you have a lot of armor being used across the Chaos line. And this is going to help it so that your Dread Spears and your Witch Elves can do a considerable bit more damage. So it's really nice to see them kind of in the fight here. Look at Sartoriel. I don't want to deal with these Reaper Bolt Throwers anymore. I'm just going to spend my time around there just smacking them around with my bird face. Chilo Sontar looking to cause some fear routes and terror routes all over the board. These Marauders into these Spearmen. Should be an interesting little play there. And the Supreme Sorceress is still in pretty good shape here. She's holding it true in the very middle of the fight. I feel as a whole, Supreme Sorceresses get focused down pretty quickly. Uh-oh. The Chill Sontar's not appreciating all of your really mean twigs you're throwing in the air, bro. It's really harsh in my jive. I haven't seen a single breath attack from the Chill Sontar, though, right? Am I crazy here? Uh-oh. We're about to see our first one? Nope. There it is. Oh, man. Just right up the horse tuchus here. Not killing a whole ton. This is a great match. It's kind of ebbing and flowing back and forth. I mean, what we really have here is the Land Pigeon kind of going wild over here. Chill Sontar and the Supreme Sorceress. The Dark Elves still have enough of a foot army that they can take out these Chaos Marauders pretty easily. But, oh, I didn't even see this whole Chaos Chariot that's just running amok back here with these Coldwind Knights. I think that the Marauder Horsemen are almost out of ammo. As soon as that happens, it's going to be a pretty interesting little, like, Helm's Deep over here as the last vestiges of this Dark Elf army kind of clash in with the rest of the Chaos army here. Check, check, check. Mic is working. Okay, good. I'll turn that down a little bit. Sorry if I'm too low and that's too loud. Sorry, guys. Bill Sontar looking to get away, man. All these people harshing his jive. Does anybody want to go to Tender Greens and just have a salad today? Like, oh, and there it is. Army losses, I think, are kicking in now for the Dark Elves. Oh, no, I think they're just routing. The balance of power is still at 50-50. I mean, the Chill Sontar is a huge part of that balance of power, so is... Uh-oh! Chill Sontar letting out just such a gnarly breath attack, dude. Just right up the alley. Loving it. Getting in there on those Marauders. It's going to... Oh, that routed them real fast, like... Plague of Rust, though. Minus 60 to armor. It's going to be so huge against these Chaos Warriors with halberds as I spit everywhere on my own screen. His armor is at a whopping 0 here, right? 101 likes. We gotta get more of those likes. Guys, press that thumb button, bros. The Chill Sontar demands it. Doom Pigeon, look at him sweeping in there. Oh! Watch out for the Sontar tail. Man, this is just a brutal cockfight now. And quite literally a cockfight. I mean, you've got Sartoriel just kind of going at it. Get those little health bars up. But I mean, I think that just the combined amount of firepower and everything, Chill Sontar is just really going down for the count here. He's had too much. He's been drinking all night. He's taking a little dirt nap. My God, this was a totally righteous rattle my brows. Cowabunga! All right, so let's take a look at this army here real quick. Man, those executioners got 161 kills. They really just dropped in the triple digits. Same thing with the Chill. The Chill Sontar gave 108 sex wax surf board level kills to the Warriors of Chaos. The Warriors of Chaos here, they have 102 though on these warriors with great weapons, probably smashing apart some of the just the standard warriors. But like I was saying, man, those Marauder Horsemasters are so strong. 80, 46, 62, 118. I mean, between all 4 of them, that's 200 and some kills? That's massive. For the amount of points invested, that's so good. They were able to shut down both the back lane of the Repeater Bolt Throwers. They were able to both kind of outmaneuver the Dark Riders, who were able to get a ton of kills in. And they were able to kind of preoccupy the Supreme Sorceress enough that allowed for King of the Dead to really kind of pull that win out by just really taking apart a large portion of Hadres' army. So, really like that very first one here. That's good value, such an expensive unit. Yeah, absolutely. Chill Sontar was just a great pick. Let's jump on over to our second match. Let me just quickly edit this. Round 2. King of the Dead pulled ahead with 1. Okay, where it is. Nope. Where it at? There it is. Yes. Okay, so our scoreboard should be updated now. The second round here. Second round coming into it. We have Vampire Counts versus the Tomb King. This will be a pretty fun one. I'm pretty stoked on this. We have to apply it beforehand, my dude. What do you mean? Talking to what? Is this is a little off, right? This feels off. There we go. Transition. Fix that. Yeah, this is extremely thematic. For those of you who don't know the lore of this, the Tomb Kings are pretty much the precursor to the Vampire Counts. The Tomb Kings were their own nation, and Neferata basically was the very first, well, I guess one of the very first vampires. She created the elixir of life under the tutelage of Arkham the Black, stole a book of Nagash to create such a thing, and she created her own vampire kind of city in Lamia. After that, the Tomb Kings kind of basically under Alcatrazar, I think it was Alcatrazar that did it, ransacked through Lamia, drove out all the vampires who scattered to the seven winds, came back together at Morcaine, which was a city, a kingdom ruled over by a, I want to say Wassoran, but I'm trying to think of the actual name. Ashoran. I'm trying to think of the actual name of that line. Oh, Strigoi. So whenever you see a Strigoi Ghoul King, it comes from this ancient line of Strigoi vampires. And when they ruled Morcaine, with all the Vampire Count bloodlines kind of hanging out there, but Morcaine was overtaken by a great greenskin horde and just kind of completely overrun. And that's where the Strigoi bloodline becomes this feral beast-like, ghoul-like bloodline as it kind of devolves in shame, really. They kind of skulk through the ruins of Morcaine, eating corpses and drawing blood from rats and stuff. So very, very, very thematic here, guys. Check, check, check. Okay, it's working. All right, so let's take a look at Hadres' army. Well, you know what? I looked at Hadres last time. Let's take a look over here at King of the Dead, which is a very fitting army for him. He is playing... Oh, look at this. This is going to be so good. Okay, so he's got some Tomb Guard, some Kepra Guard here, which are going to be very strong against what I already saw was a lot of Grave Guard. It's funny how there's a guard for everything. Phoenix Guard, Tomb Guard, Blade, or Grave Guard, Black Guard. There's a guard for almost every race. Eternal Guard, like, come on. Think of something different, Games Workshop. So, Kepra Guard here. They have magic damage here that's going to be pretty great. I thought they did AP, but I guess they're just anti-infantry. I mean, these guys are pretty much your heavily armored, just buzzsaws for your Tomb Kings here. With that magic damage, though, they're going to be able to do a significant amount of damage to their vampire counterparts. So it's going to be great to see them in the Tomb Guard, kind of fleshing out the rest of this line. A nice, stocky line with some skeleton spearmen on their flanks here. A good kind of standard, basic infantry line with Cetra the Imperishable. Let's get a good zoom in on him. Boom! Look at that badass. So he is on his lovely Doom Pussy, as I like to call it, with all of his spells, ironically enough. So he has got quite a bit at his disposal. We also have a Kemrian War Sphinx as well. So 2 War Sphinxes jumping up and down the Vampire Coast count line is going to be pretty rough and tumble, because the biggest thing about them is Vampire Counts is they don't have a lot of anti-large. They've got Blood Knights, they've got Skeleton Spearmen, but they're going to struggle with both those Kemrian War Sphinxes. Blessed Legion of Fokoth here is really good because they do have, it's Shieldbreaker, right? Shieldbreaker or Armor Sunder, I can't remember. That looks like Shieldbreaker. Sundered armor, so minus 30 to armor. So they'll be able to really, really knock apart some of the high value, like the Stearnsmen, the other kind of high value targets of the Vampire Counts. And then 2 nice Neherkaran warriors here to kind of help that back line, keep these skeleton archers supported, because you can use these guys to just mulch through any kind of zombies. You got skeleton or King Nekef's Scorpion Legion, which has your poison attack here. I thought they had Guardian, but I was totally wrong. So they do have anti-large and poison though, so that's going to be really great. And then some nice harassment with the Carrions here. I'm pretty stoked on this. Let's take a look over here. We have some Skeleton Spearmen, Skeleton Warriors, and Skeleton Warriors. Okay. So a lot more of a wider army. Fell 3 Fellbats to match the 3 Carrion, so we should see another high-level micro intensive play. Oh, Vargulf, nice! Haven't seen them in quite some time. Look at that thing just hobbling along with its penis butt. Corpse card, Unholy Lodestone variation. Aaron, thanks, man. Donated $2 to the fund, to the winner. And I think we have the Red Duke. Oh, Manfred von Karstein on a Nightmare here, just galloping through the air. All right, so we're gonna get some carrying on Fellbat action initially. Oh, it's 4-3 on the Flyers here. We have some Dire Pack, the Regiment Renowned Dire Wolves reaching around that back line. We have some 2 units of Blood Knights, which is gonna be pretty good here. Trying to take some of those Cambrian War Sphinx because those things are gonna rip through stuff. Let me know, guys, if the sound of the game needs to be turned up in relation to my speaking. No, you have lost. Oh man, look at this. Look at this. This is insane. Just a carrion swarm on Manfred here with the Fellbats to protect him. Let's see what those Carrion War Sphinxes are just trudging through stuff. They're going to eat up these Skeleton Warriors. I mean, this is really, really bad engagement for them. I mean, you can't really do much about it because the Carrion War Sphinx goes where it doth wishes. But you have a shift in line here, getting both these Skeleton Archers onto that Vargulf, trying to kind of neutralize that as fast as possible. Those Blood Knights do need to get out of there because they're in a bad situation. They need to get onto those Carrion War Sphinx as fast as possible. Flyers going hog wild. Unholy Lodestone just taking its precious time because that's just the slowest damn thing in the game, I think. Oh, there it is. There's your Mortis Engine. I was like, I know I saw it earlier. Pretty good engagement here from these Carrion War Sphinxes. They got out there, got 2 real quick kills, or at least neutralized pretty heavily 2 armies, and then jump back behind the safety of their lines. So good on them. Oh man, these Skeleton Warriors are going to get eaten up by the Kepler Guard. Now the not Chaos Hounds, the Dire Wolves, the Blood Knights, all getting in that back line, trying to do some sort of damage here, trying to get some sort of access way into the meat and potatoes of this army. Still dealing with all this flyer action. Looks like the Fellbats are losing out against the Carrion. The Carrion have a little bit better of a melee attack, I think, right? It's 26 to 19, about 40 to 22, so they definitely do a lot more damage. And Holy Lodestone just kind of sitting there trying to do some debuffing and buffing at the same time. Uh-oh. Mortis Engine in trouble. Mortis Engine in trouble. Heavily focused down. Sundered Armor kicking in. Mortis Engine getting beat. Oh, man. Dude, look at this. Look at this. Just these Carrion War Sphinxes just taking no names. I have to be careful. My computer just like reset itself because it's like, oh, you overclock your machine? Boom. Fuck you. Man, look at that thing just going hog wild. Both of them are just ripping through stuff. Even though this one's taking considerable damage by, 3 units going at it, it's still in dire straits. The Mortis Engine has completely crumbled away over there. Vampire counts are in a bad situation here. Adri's just trying to get a big purchase here, trying to get some sort of big kind of a shift. If he can take one of these Carrion War Sphinxes down, I think it's going to be pretty good for him. He's trying to get a summon zombies here right into the center of all these units. Oh, nice. Directly onto the Skeleton Archers, so that's going to neutralize them for a little bit. He does have the rest of his line kind of engaged here, but they're sandwiched between a Tomb Guard and Kepler Guard, so it's not too good for them. They don't have the AP to really defeat that. Cycle charging in and out. Oh, I lied. The Mortis Engine is totally fine. So, cycle charging here with the Blood Knights. Invocation to Heck popping off across them. A really good one right here. Just most opportune. Kicking in on the Blood Knights. On the Mortis Engine. Getting Manfred in there as well. Manfred's super tanky. They might be able to get one of these Carrion War Sphinxes down, but they have so much firepower pouring into them as well that it's going to be pretty bad because there's a lot of Cinder armies kicking in. But you can see Setra's pretty low on morale, so he's going to start crumbling here soon. You got this one as well. The Carrion War Sphinxes and... Sorry, he does have his Narrow's Incantation off, so he does have 44% physical resistance. But you know what? A little too late, because now Setra's being focused with Soul Blight. He has both of these units of Blood Knights on him. And this was what I was talking about. This is that big kind of push that he needed. Taking out Setra and his doom pussy. And I think that's going to be it for the Carrion War Sphinxes as well. I mean, there's enough Blood Knights to still do a considerable amount of damage, but the big thing here is there's still so many Tomb Guard on the battlefield. I think that's just going to be way too hard for a non-AP army to really crack. The amount of firepower being shot at them too. Oof. Sorry, my computer's just struggling right here. It's right here. It's like, oh, you know what? Take a huge frames per second dump. My wrist? Or turns risk. Turns risk is very much hurting him. Alright, pulling out these Blood Knights here to get another cycle charge in. Hopefully wrap around and knock out this Blessed Legion. But, I mean, again, there is so much going as far as... oh, the back of my laser sweating. So much going as far as infantry from the Tomb Guard. They are... Tomb Guard from the Tomb Kings. They're far from out of it. That Vargulf lumbering around with his dick butt. Now, the cool thing about the Vargulfs here is they do have AP. They can really crack open a lot of the AP that they have to deal with right now. But, I mean, your Tomb Guard are still only 50 armor, so they're not like the most armored of the armored and shielded units, you know? 50 armor is not the highest here. Well, let's see what Hadres can pull off. There's still some stuff to be done. Jesus, I keep pressing the wrong button. There's still just so much Tomb Kings. Vargulf in bad shape. He's going to start crumbling here soon. I think both of our Blood Knights are down. Oh, we got one unit of Blood Knights up and running. Mortis engine is down. Around here somewhere. Oh god, look at that. Death over here. A nice heal coming across the land as the Realm of Souls triggers. Here's the bad thing about using a lot of Tomb Guard. When you have that many Tomb Guard, and especially if you're playing against the Skeleton Warriors like this, they aren't triggering as much. Or the Realm of Souls is not triggering as much because you're not having as many deaths happen. So by that happening, by you going a little bit less wide like that, you kind of prevent one of the biggest portions of the Tomb King army, which is their mechanic, right? Their ability to heal as a whole. What is that beast unit that is behind the trees? It's an unholy lodestone. So it is a lovely... I'm not pressing K. It is a lovely corpse cart. See all of our flyers trade 1 for 1 as we try to get some sort of a last-minute goal here or a win out here. But, I mean, even though the balance of power is 50-50, I think it's because of this Vargulf. And as soon as this Vargulf kind of pops out, we're going to be in... the Tomb Kings are going to be in bad shape. Sense your benevolent witchcraft. Whiskey Jack, report. What's our likes to views, brother? I'm afraid to get too close here, guys. I really don't want the computer to shut off on itself. And do this. That'll be good. Manfred von Karstein is still so tanky. I mean, Manfred and Vlad can just wade through so much damage. Yep. Vargulf's getting focused here. He's in bad condition. If these Blood Knights get killed, I think they'll just lose by army losses. But, I mean, that Vargulf now is debilitated, or not debilitated, is crumbling. It's going to be coming off the... Oh! Got a good charge in here on those Blood Knights. Getting up close and personal on that. Those are just the Neharkar and Warriors. So trying to release that Vargulf from the fight here, but I think all of this firepower is just going to spell doom for it. And as soon as that happens, oh, Realm of Souls triggering again. That's probably the second one, if not the third one. I don't think there's a way to check from this side of the field. Yeah. I got Vargulf just running away. Probably trying to get into that unholy lodestone. This is a really prolonged match here, but I think we're getting... Is that the... Yep, there it is. Oh, no, never mind. Thought it was. I thought the Ushabti were coming in. Still have a unit of skeleton or zombies getting summoned up here. So, things are in definitely a very interesting place. I think that, again, if we lose one unit, we'll see army loss. Oh, that Vargulf is dead. So I'm surprised that everything's still here. Balance power is now shifted pretty heavily towards the Tomb Kings. With probably like a 60-40 now. Maybe even 70-30. Has money in the cash chicken will kiss live on camera if we hit 150 likes. Were it so easy, brother. Daniel Hughes, you better want to see that, bro. Alright. I think there's a pretty foregone conclusion. Army loss is kicking in. Manfred von Karstein has disintegrated into dust. And we have our second win for King of the Dead now. Yes. So King of the Dead wins 2-0 in the semifinals, knocking out Hadres. And I mean, 2 really good matches there. Like, that was so fun. Pretty interesting too, again, to see like that level of micro in that last match with like all those skirmisher cav. It was pretty interesting too to see just the flyers again just completely KO each other, like it was a straight across match. But you got so many kills from all these units just stomping through low tier. I mean, 0 kills in all the warriors. Even the spearmen only got 16 and 8. Blood Knights 54 and 10. Bellbats got pretty low as well. So you can really see that this army just struggled against what was essentially a more quote-unquote armored army with the Tomb Guard. So really awesome match here. Let's see if we can jump into the Discord and talk to them here real quick before we jump out to our... where is it? All right.
Hello, Anchor, because what...
Hadres and King of the Dead. What's up, guys?
The sky.
Italian.
Get out of here.
Dead bats and carrion. Just
Seriously, I did not expect you guys to have an undead bat or an undead flying Duke off there.
undead air fight. Yes, the Air Force.
90% of the game, those guys are fighting. I was like, when, like, they're gonna die.
It's a wet noodle fight
I felt that's a win.
in the sky.
So, Hadres, this fight was pretty difficult for you. You didn't have a lot of armor cracking anything, and you didn't really have a lot of armored front line. What was your kind of thought going into your army build for this match?
My thought mainly was to run the Blood Knights with Manfred around and strategically pick off the single entities, which always give me the most trouble in Tomb Kings. But King of the Dead made a good point when he said that it's important to win the infantry fight as vampire counts, and because he was really good with keeping his main core infantry together.
Mm-hmm.
So I took out the single entities, but the units were still there, and they just bogged down what I had left.
Right.
Yeah, normally the opposite happens, where the Tomb Kings only have monsters left and maybe some, like... And then they just get bogged down by, like, you know, a Terrorgeist and a blob of skeleton warriors and Graveguard.
Yeah, I mean, this was for you, King of the Dead, this was a pretty unique army because you did go with a lot of Tomb Guard, so you didn't really by going with a lot of Tomb Guard, you don't really get to take full advantage of the Realm of Souls as easily. Did you expect to face more Graveguard, or were you kind of, is this like your kind of standard pick against vampire counts?
Well, it's an army I just started using, but I'm liking it so far. I expected Terrorgeists, and that's why I brought the Carrion. Because they can actually muck up a Terrorgeist and kill it if
Really?
they can stay in a fight long enough. Yeah, 4 of them can kill a Star Dragon.
Damn, I didn't even know that. Huh.
Or 4 of them. I buff them with Jaff, Incantation of Cursed Blade, overcast it, so they get 16 bonus versus large. But then instead I put it on my Cambrian War Sphinxes when they were fighting the Blood Dragons. Health.
Yeah, because
in the game.
You were definitely kind of inundated with those Cambrian War Sphinxes. I mean, you had 2 units of Blood Knights on there, the Vargulf and Manfred, so they definitely need that little bit of help.
The buff really helped them, yeah.
So he made
up there.
Small mistake in the beginning where he let like 2 units of skeleton warriors and a skeleton spearman just, you know, be on my flank, and I could just really quick alpha strike.
Yeah, they were quickly out of position, just gobbled up, while the main army was like repositioning, so we had a sideways fight.
Right, I saw that. The guy even commented like, oh, you know, you guys got that quick call out right there, that quick caught them out quickly, so you were able to get just 2 units off the board without taking almost any damage to both.
He needed those to, you know, put my infantry, stop my infantry so I could recharge with my Blood Dragons.
To recharge with the Blood Dragons, yeah, to get into the very good archers.
Very good archers. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us here. King of the Dead, you're moving on to the next round against Loremaster of Sotek. Hadres, thank you again for joining. Do either of you want to plug your respective, like, do you guys have respective YouTube channels or the tournament scene as a whole you guys want to plug or anything like that?
Really?
In general, I would say check out the Discord for your channel, ItalianSpartacus, and the one Turin has.
Everybody, go check out
Get in touch with the community, like participate, talk to us, the players, and just let us know if you want anything in the future. Like we were talking earlier about viewers getting in on setting up Lord versus Lord fights, specific requests, what they want to see. That was a cool idea.
Yeah, and
like
I mean,
specific units.
If any of you guys are wondering like how to get better at like multiplayer, or how do you get better like or into the tournament scene, they have their own Discord, and they're all like, I mean, both of these gentlemen are in that Discord, and they're like really, really nice guys, and like, most of the people on there are super, super, super accessible. You can ask them any question. I mean, even on Turn and I's Discord, you can ask questions. Like, everyone's really, really helpful and willing to help jump you into it. So please, by all means, guys, do not be afraid.
You can always ask me for anything to play games or anything else.
Yeah, or you can just stream snipe me King of the Dead like you do.
Wait. I didn't stream snipe you, right? I didn't stream snipe you.
Last time you
just
did.
Looked.
It just looked like it.
I streamed? No, I didn't.
You're right. He paused the stream. He played by the rules. But, gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll see you, King of the Dead, and Sotek in the next match. Hadres, thank you very much, guys. We'll jump out of here and jump back over to you guys watching.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
All right, guys, we're going to take another really quick intermission here just so I can set up some stuff. We did get another donation, but the anonymous donation from an anonymous for $10. So thank you very much. That does go towards the pool as well. So our total pool is 46 plus 4. So we're at a total pool of $50. 25% of that $50 after YouTube tax and everything like that. And in this case, there won't be any YouTube tax, which is great. Will go to the winner of this match. So this next best of 5. So quick intermission here, guys. I have to wipe my bald head down because I'm sweating profusely. And I will get some music going here. Let me see. Oh no, Daniel. We were just fucking around. He didn't like actually snipe me. He watched the stream. He got me in a quick battle, and then we played. He shut the stream down. Okay, so let's play some music. Let's take a break. Good. This one looks good. There we go. Okay. We shall be back shortly, guys. Oh man, that one's slow played out too and everything. Perfect. All right, guys. We're on to our finals here, right? We're on to our fucking finals. That swap over? Yeah, it did. Let me join the game here. Should have done that ahead of time. Okay. Let me just check their picks real quick. We do have a new vote up. Who will be our next Warpstone Cup champion? Loremaster of Sotek or King of the Dead? Vote 0 for Sotek. Vote 1 for King of the Dead. Let's take a look here real quick. Sure. Okay. Let's have the same pick for your game 5. Just as heads up, might want to gentleman's that or whatever. Okay, so let us jump into the final round. Oh, did they have the same pick for the Two Kings, Dark Elves, Chaos, North? Yeah, okay. Just making sure here on something. But we have Loremaster Sotek on Chaos to start off with King of the Dead playing as the Tomb Kings, the King of the Dead himself. I would think this is King of the Dead's favorite army against Sotek's. I almost called them Beastmen. I was staring right at the shield warriors. So we have Ryan Borgia joining us. Hey Ryan, how are you, man? You guys go ahead and keep that voting going. Hey Ryan Borgia, you graduated from your web developer boot camp. Congratulations, dude. And as always, guys, while these guys kind of build their armies out, any 25% after the kind of YouTube tax and everything, 25% of donations does go towards the winner. This is going to go to either Sotek or King of the Dead. Hey, Vlad Tudor, how are you doing, man? Good to see you. Get your big foam fingers out. Finger me with that big foam. Whiskey Jack, report. Likes to views. What are we at? What are we at? What are we is? What are we is? Oh, look at that foam finger. I'm rooting for King here because I'm seeing him play today. We got Janet on occasion. He's watching in on chat here. These are one of our moderators. Whiskey Jacket, another one of our moderators. Seawolf was in here earlier, another one of our mods. So thanks to all you guys watching out on chat, making sure that no one's spreading the hate. 146 viewers and 133 likes. That's what I fucking like to see. Those thumbs everywhere up inside of me. Keeping these folks in line. Professor Pone's here too. I guess he's a moderator. He's like whatever. He's like whatever. He's like a dude. Wait a little bit longer for them. Oh, Seawolf's still here. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, I bring only the chillest of bros of Sontar to my chat. Press repose. So I think we're good to go. I've got a back. Okay, let's take a look here. Poll results. Stop the poll. What are the results? Sotek wins with 5 votes. King of the Dead only got 1. So you guys are really pulling for King of the Dead here. I'm interested to see how this goes. Hey, Too Cool, what's up, man? Let's get it going up in here. The final of the Warpstone Cup. Is there a cat behind me? Fuck no, there's not. Okay, that sounds good to me. We have the bones of a crate dragon. Reference to Star Wars. No, honestly, I couldn't tell you what dragon that is. Like, there's nothing in the lore that says that there's these giant... they're like these gigantic dragons, but like there's like 2 of them, so nothing like this big. No, you have lost. Okay. So let's see what we got. We got the Doom Pigeon over there, and we got... Oh my god. Look at this. Uh-oh. We'll see it in a second. See if Sotek is... Who's more set up? Sotek is, I think. Okay, so Sotek went with some Marauder just horsemen. There's some throwing axes here. That's going to be really strong against any of your Kemrian War Sphinx. As you can see here, guys, they do have AP. They can really get up close and personal. They're going to be really good just kind of popping things down that are pretty heavily armored. On top of that, we see Chaos Marauders kind of like floating through the front line. A nice anchor of their leadership in the Aspiring Champions. One of my favorite models in the game right there. These guys have a low unit count, but they do magic damage, which is going to be beneficial in combat. But again, these guys, their biggest thing here is to spread that aura of leadership. But a nice front line of Marauders just to kind of help out against the chaff front line of the Tomb Kings. Then you've got some Forsaken on both flanks, it looks like. Yep, Forsaken on both flanks. Halberds in the dead center to kind of help protect the lovely Sartoriel, as we've already seen. But one of my favorite units here, guys, the Summoners of Rage. Now, the Summoners of Rage are Dragon Ogres. They do have scaly skin, they are anti-large, they do have magic attacks, so it's going to be awesome, but they do have Chain Lightning. So dropping one of these down in a whole big pocket of Skeleton Warriors is going to be really huge here. Vid0, I do not think that is the Dragon Abhorrage Slew. Oh. Now, let's take a look over here at King of the Dead's army. A lot of Tomb Guard with halberds. 3 of them to be exact, and the Kepra Guard. So, our Tomb Guard with halberds here, obviously. We do have anti-large on them, we do have AP on them, and charge defense against large forces. So, those Summoners of Rage are going to have a hard time here. Sartoriel is going to have a hard time here, so he does have to be pretty careful. The Tomb Prince is here as well. He does give the Guardian ability. There it is. So 18% physical resist, and he is very strong in his own right. He is AP and anti-large, as well as the other prince on the other end of him. So you've got these 2 kind of beater of worlds, almost in the same sense that you would use High Elf Nobles. You can really use them to kind of goon down and hunt the larger targets like Sartoriel, like the Summoners of Rage, Arkan the Black here as well with his Arkan's Tomb Blade. A nice dual kit, but he has got Fit of Buna, he's got Spirit Leech, he's got the Liber Mortis as always, and the Staff of Nagash as chosen. Nagash, whatever you want to call it. This will help regenerate his Winds of Magic very heavily, and then again, the Tomb Blade of Arkan, which has changed now, as you guys know. It's no longer just an area effect heal. It actually gives you, I'm looking right at the word, Skeleton Warriors living onto the battlefield. Now, a nice backline defense of Spearmen with some Skeleton Archers, and I think there's some more Archers over here. The Blessed Legion one more time, and then more Skeleton Spearmen on them. But here's the real thing, right? Here's the coup de grace. 3 units of Skeleton Chariots. These guys are going to eat up those Marauders. Now, if those Skeleton Chariots do get into any of the combat with... Oh, there we go. God damn it. I have fat-fingered that button so many times today. If they do get into combat with those Chaos Warriors, it is going to be pretty brutal for them. If they do get in combat with these Summoners of Rage, it is going to be pretty brutal for them. So he does have to be a little careful here. Oh, didn't see this. And some Chaos Knights with Lances. These guys are strong here. They're anti-infantry. They're not your perpetual combat variant, but they are going to be pretty good to get up close and personal. So let's see how this plays out, guys. I'm stoked. Both the armies kind of marching across here, looking to get some initial picks with the Marauder horsemen, not masters, with throwing axes, which is a good target here. These guys do have defense against range, but they're considered armored, so this will at least do some damage to them. There's not a lot of really good targets for them across the battlefield. There's not any Camion War Sphinxes. Loremaster and Sotek are doing a really good job here of trying to wrap up and get some additional kind of shots on, getting some Chaos Knights across the board. Uh-oh. Authoriel scared off by both of these Tomb Princes there, which he, as he should be. I mean, those guys can really do a lot of damage to him. Oh, God, the horde of chariots through. Oh, man, just into all these marauders here. Contact across the line. Kepler Guard are going to eat some stuff up. Those chariots are just going to push through all the way into the Aspiring Champion. Got the Blessed Legion shooting apart these Marauder Horsemen over here. So Authoriel kind of watching the battlefield as things kind of unfold. Where are those Chaos Warriors? Aha, right over into the back line here. Oh, man. Arkan's Tombblade kicking out, getting those Skeleton Warriors summoned up into these Marauder Horsemen. Oh, there's those Chaos Knights I was looking for. Ah, Transmutation of Lead. So a huge minus to the weapon strength, minus to their melee attack. Good catch out here by Sotek, going right into Arkan the Black. But Fate of Unit being triggered on them as well is going to be pretty detrimental to them. So Authoriel getting caught up in a not a really good place here. Want to get away from those Tomb Guard with halberds ASAP. Summoners of Rage looking to chase down some of those Skeleton Chariots as fast as possible. Oh, man. Things are just going off across the battlefield. Got Realm of Souls kicking off. That's that green little aura that's kicking off for the Tomb King mechanic. Get those Skeleton Knights into those Blessed Legion, which is a really good shutdown there. But he does have these 2 units of Tomb Princes, which will do quite a bit of damage to those Chaos Knights. So Authoriel again over here with some Tomb Guard with halberds, but they were not braced obviously, so they can do a considerable amount of damage. The Summoners of Rage trying to knock apart the back line a little bit here of the King of Dead's army. Anything over there? Yes. So we see some Marauders kind of coming back. This whole unit of Tomb Guard with halberds and this unit of Tomb Guards are in really good position here, or I'm sorry, really good health here, so they can still do quite a bit. The Skeleton Chariots, right into everything over here. Got these over here duking it out, the Summoners of Rage. Another Fate of Unit being triggered off on them, or wasn't it? I thought it was. There it is, yeah. Spirit Leech, not Fate of Unit, sorry. So Authoriel reaping through the battlefield. Got the Blessed Legion of Fox just kind of shooting down range here as well. Summoner of Rage not in a good position here. Only 5 units, or 2, 4, 6 units of the model, or 6 models left in the unit. Really bad position. They have to get one of their Chain Lightnings off if they want to get some good damage out. Oh, we got the Ushabti that have been summoned up over here. Really good placement for them. Kind of help break things up with these Forsaken. Oh, Summoners of Rage in bad shape. Only 4 models left there. You have a grand press of all these Marauders and these Chaos Warriors against these 2 units of Tomb Guard with halberd. You have these Forsaken and these Aspiring Champion kind of fighting off against these Kepler Guard. Things are definitely oh! The double Tomb Prince over here looking to get rid of the last Summoner of Rage. Oh, things are just hectic this fight. Loremaster doing a lot of really good background play by trying to get into that backline and shutting down the archers as best as he can. And he's done a really good job of keeping those archers offline for a lot of the fight. But Arkan the Black is still the Reaper of Souls, and if both those Tomb Princes can get onto Authoriel, he's going to be in the wrong neighborhood. Uh-oh. He just walked into a 7-Eleven in the middle of a holdup. It is going to go poorly for him. Yep, trying to get out of that Arcane Conduit on him, trying to get some more Winds of Magic out. Probably get another, oh, God, look at that. Just smashing things apart. Authoriel still is not in a good place. He's knee-deep in Tomb Guard with halberd. Got the princes over here trying to help with those Marauder Horsemen. Yeah, I think we still have some chariots kind of reaping through the line here. These guys can do some damage to. Oh, whew. Got some more. Oh, good summon on these Skeleton Warriors. Kind of catches these guys. Oh, this is Kepler Guard. I thought that was the chariots, but still, it does catch these Kepler Guard. Not Kepler Guard. God, these Chaos Warriors with halberds helps knock them out, keeping Authoriel a little bit more able to kind of freely move around the battlefield, do some damage here. So Authoriel can still be quite the terror in the night. He does have a Spirit Leech kicked off onto him, so it is going to start draining his health pretty quickly. But he's amongst friends right now, so those friends can definitely plug up this Tomb Prince He does have to worry about this King Nakash's Scorpion Legion because it can poison him and slow him down, but things can go pretty well. Ooh. Arkin's not in good shape here. This is not a fight he wants. Liber Mortis kicking off 44% in physical resistance. That's across the whole entire board. You can see that Sotek's kind of retreating away from that. Doesn't want to be in this big, huge blue kind of haze here. That is the Liber Mortis. But there is quite a bit of Tomb... Okay, almost called him Tomb Guard. Tomb King infantry left, so... It looks like Sartorial really has to be the one that takes out Arkin the Black on his own, but still, even then, I don't think that Sartorial can win this for them. It looks like the King of the Dead is just about to pull this off here. Balance of power has grossly shifted into his favor as Sotek kind of like struggles to keep the winged bird alive. You're just going for Arkin right there. He's so close. He's so close. I mean, that is so much juke moves. I mean, look at that. Like, just like a linebacker in the backfield, just kind of going left and right. A linebacker in the backfield? It's a running back, not a linebacker. That's on defense. Oh, just pounding this, just whomping and stomping. Oh, so great. And there it is. Sartoriel has fallen. And it looks like King of the Dead pulls out the first win of our best of 5 here in the finals. Woo! Man, that was pretty crazy. So let's update the scoreboard here before we jump into the post-game analysis. We won't spend as much time, as there's a chance that, you know, this is obviously going to be a little bit longer with 5 games, so... There we go. Update that scoreboard. We're good to go. So let's take a look at some of the big things. Summers of Rage still got a good amount of kills. The Forsaken are really good in this matchup because they can do quite a bit of damage, but you can't focus too much on them because they are quite high for their cost. 900. I'm sorry, they're quite high cost at 900 when you can have a Tomb King army that can go pretty wide, so you don't want them to get all kind of wrapped up. But the Skeleton Chariots, 72, 42. And they really got a lot of... This guy didn't really get as many, but, I mean, still, they were able to really push a lot of harassment. That initial first charge into them was so good. When will they include the host spectator mode? Tamir, hopefully very soon, dude. Kepler Guard got a lot of kills, too, here. A good matchup for them, just kind of beating things around their double swords. Go for it. Ready. When you guys are... Man, whew, that first match was good. I liked it a lot. Back out a little bit. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, okay. So Loremaster Sotek is looking to play the Vampire Counts this time, and King of the Dead is going with the Dark Elves. So we've seen a lot of Dark Elves, a lot of Tomb Kings, a lot of Vampire Counts this entire game. We've seen some Beastmen. We've seen... Is it blind pick? Yes, it is, Simon. They've sent me their picks. So no one's doing it on the fly at a counter pick here. If you guys are not familiar with the rules, again, here we're doing 2 best of 3s, followed by the finals here, which is the best of 5s. These are blind picks, in which case they send me their choices ahead of time before the tournament even starts. So I'll even tell them, like, hey, you guys have chosen the same thing here. Anyone mind switching? Kind of a gentleman's thing. Or they can even say in Discord chat, like, hey, why don't we do these 2 armies? Does this sound good to you? And they can do that. Oh. But really great play here from King of the Dead on the last one. He does a really good job of going very wide, but very focused with his Tomb Kings, and I really like that. And I think that Loremaster Sotek did some really good plays by trying to wrap around that backfield as fast as he could. Really like that a lot. Sent you their pick? I'm shocked. What do you mean, man? Oh yeah, they sent me a lot of nudes. Are there any community tournaments coming? This is a community tournament, my dude. I'll drink water to that. What if this whole time this was just like vodka? But as always, guys, we're at $50 into the total prize pool. A quarter of that will go to either Loremaster of Sotek or King of the Dead. The more donations, obviously, the more they get. So if you want to see that, you're more than happy to. Do not feel obligated at all. Facing back to the good old days where... Oh my god. Misha! Dude, Fatty used to send me so many nudes. Like, hey, does this dick look like mine? Colbert's here, man. Good to see you, dude. Colbert, I don't know if you graduated grad school or if you're just, I don't know, if you graduated grad school or you're just kind of visiting us here. You think a melee lord plus fire sorcerer would have been more efficient against Tomb Kings? I mean, you could have gone with Archaon if you really wanted to. Fire can do a lot of damage to the line of the Tomb Kings. You Screaming Skull and you can rip up a lot of damage. But the big thing about Fire is, or a big thing about King of the Dead's army is he went with a lot of Tomb Guard. He had four total units of Tomb Guard, but the Kepler Guard included in the 3 units of Tomb Guard with Halberd. So even though that he could have used a Screaming Skull, it wouldn't have done as much damage as, say, you know, it would have done against Skeleton Warriors and the such. So that is very... I'm bold, thank you. Are you asking if I'm bald? It's still a pretty risky pick, but you know, using the Flaming Sword of Ruin is really strong, gets you magic attacks and fire attacks, increases your AP damage, so it's really hard to say. I think you have to choose as a gamer or as the player what oh my chest. What magic plays to your strengths. Sure, fire might have been the best choice against Tomb Kings, but a lot of people don't like that play. They don't want to focus on having to drag out and focus a wind spell, or they don't want to have to worry about where they're placing their vortex. Some players just want to play with something like a death or shadow or something like that, where they just drop a spell and walk away. Okay, sorry, I was looking at chat. Let's take a look at Loremaster here. He has moved his army. So he went with the Red Duke on a zombie dragon. I like that. The Vampire of Death, also an interesting choice on a Nightmare. I like that as well. Some Fellabath for some harassment. Some nice tar pittage with the zombies. Some Blood Knights, which are going to be really strong here, as always, because it's their only few choices for anti-large. Now, he went with Grave Guard. 1 standard, 1 with great weapons, 1 standard because of the Stearnsman, 1 with great weapons, and 1 standard. So this will give him good defense against any of the Dark Shards, and it'll also allow him to really put a lot of hurt into the elite infantry that is typically fielded by Dark Elves. Look at that gleaming penis. So he did also go with a nice backline here of Skeleton Spearmen just to kind of help shore up any holes across any of the large things that attack. Some nice Dire Pack to hunt down the backline, and Blood Knights to, again, focus on any of the large. Now, a lot of Harpies. So we talked to King of the Dead in our last game. We know that he's pretty keen to hunting down the Terrorgeist build. That is very common. It is very common. So I'm thinking these Harpies, especially in conjunction with the Raven Heralds, if you guys don't know, these guys have pretty good AP damage here. The goal is going to be, obviously, to use all 3 of these, focus down the Red Duke, back out as quick as possible. The Fellabats will be able to screen these, but that is a pretty dangerous maneuver there. So 2 Sisters of Slaughter, which are great here. They will mulch up a lot of this line. 2 units of Blackguard of Nagaron with Dread Spears in front of them, and then some Witch Elves and another unit of Looks like we got the Hellebronei on board, guys. Now, these guys are pretty sick. They got murderous prowess, but they've got this poison. Dude, the Hellebronei are just the most poisoned of bros. They're just reaping up the back line with that lovely charge defense versus all, not just large. So the Hellebronei, definitely your regiments of renown you want to pick if you want to deal with a lot of large and get that poison going. Okay. We are good to go. We've told them what's up. Oh, what lord they go with? Oh, Oh, look at you, Marathi. Now, Marathi on foot, which is pretty interesting here, but she still is going to be anti-large and AP. And she's got quite a few spells at her disposal because she has a Dark and Death kit. And a Death Hag. Let's see how this kind of goes. Just like we talked about. We got some Harpies jumping in here. These Harpies are pretty strong. I mean, they have 44 weapon strength. So they can do a lot of damage if they really get up close and personal. So you do have to be careful here. But Loremaster Sotek is not ready for this kind of trickery. He goes right for the Raven Heralds, which is probably a good pick, but these guys, I think, can fire while moving. No, they cannot. So it does kind of prevent them from getting a lot of shots into the Red Duke, which is good. The Vampire here is going to anchor this whole portion because those guys, the Harpies are strong. I mean, one thing to take a look at Harpies is they actually have a pretty high AP. I mean, 12 AP for a pretty low-cost unit. That's why you take them a lot of the time, is because you can get a lot of good AP damage out of the way quick and easy. But it looks like we're getting some backline movement as both these armies kind of size up on each other now. Oh, look at that. Get some shots in on the Red Duke. Uh-oh. Using the Vampire, because the Vampire is faster than the Red Duke. So hopefully trying to get that in there. What did we do? Okay. Yep. So you can see here the speed difference. 105 to a whopping 105. So that's going to be a lot better, obviously, than the Red Duke's whopping 90. So he went with a better choice here because these guys can at least keep speed if they stop for any minute, like they're going to right now. A charge can happen. But Harpy coming in there to help them out. Harpy's over here just getting kind of batted around by the Red Duke. Hopefully we'll get some melee engagements here soon as the back line kind of looks to wrap her up on King of the Dead. But he is prepared. The Hellebronai are braced and ready for the charge. Even though there should be many games afoot, I'm sure. There it goes. The Raven Herald, Spirit Leech, getting them off the board here early. Initial skirmish cap going on there. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the charges. God, what kind of scrub am I? Alright. So this is going to be a very interesting fight here. Invocation of Heck getting off here as well. I mean, these Graveguard are going to be really strong against these Blackguard of Nagaron. And these Sisters of Slaughter, even though they don't have AP, they can still do quite a bit of dent against the Graveguard. But, I mean, obviously, I think that King of the Dead was planning to deal with a lot more skeletons. Oh, look at that breath attack. Ooh, right down the line into these Blackguard. Great breath attack by Loremaster of Sotek here. Always want to use that. Oh, boom. Oh, that actually did a lot of damage. Man, Doombolt really shooting down here. Now, that is a bound spell by Marathi. That is not the spell Doombolt. So, LC here popped off on Marathi as well, which, I mean, could be pretty good here because she is surrounded by great weapons. She's surrounded by Graveguard as a whole, so there's a lot of stuff going on. Uh-oh, Hellebronai looking for a charge here. Got some summoned up skeleton warriors, so an overcasted raised dead onto these dread spears, trying to get some purchase with these blood knights. Oh, jumping in here onto this Death Hag, which is a pretty risky pick here because the Death Hag can use her poison to stop the Red Duke from moving entirely. So he has popped Invocation no Heck. He's got Soul Eater on him, but he's also popped Foe Seeker as well. He's getting out of there quickly. That Soul Eater is going to allow him to allow Marathi to tank this entire blob here. Another overcast? No, just normal one. Muck up these dread spears. Dire Pack is down and out of it. Looking for another engagement here. Looks like we're going to get another breath attack. Oh, yeah. Down the line again, right into these Blackguard. Ooh, just ripping them up. Loving it, loving it. The Red Duke is just the terror in the night here. He's been able to pretty much just kind of fly around all willy-nilly. After they shut down that Cav game up top, he's really been able to do whatever he wants. Cav game up top, I meant the flying game. As you can see, Blood Knights just kind of punting these dread spears across. You can feel free to charge cavalry into unbraced spearmen. They're not that scary. But the scary thing here is that the Blood Knights were now poisoned by the Witch Elves. So they're rampaging and they have no choice but to continue staying in that fight. Death Hag over there and Marathi holding things together pretty well. The Blackguard are certainly getting things done, but there's only units of Skeleton Spearmen and one unit of Graveguard here fighting this fight. As soon as this blob gets freed up, it's just going to be bad news bears for them. Look at the Death Hag here. I wanted to talk about her ability, if we can actually get on it. There it is. Okay, so this is what she has. She's got the Chill Blade, which actually is a choice you have to choose, which gives it the -5 melee attack and -2 speed, which is pretty good here for catching out those large lumbering beasts of war that are diving in and out of combat here. Maybe another breath attack? Nope, just a cycle charge into the Sisters of Slaughter. Trying to put the nail in the coffin on them so we can get the rest of this army fighting. King of the Dead, though, getting a rear charge into the Sternsmen. Very good. The Sternsmen, though, they do regenerate on their own, which is nice, but they are in a pretty good sandwich here between the Blackguard and the Sisters of Slaughter. So I think now that as we get just kind of overlapping levels of charge, Foe Seeker popped off. What's going to drop down? Oh, I thought it was Doombolt coming down again. Marathi is in bad trouble. Elsif has popped off on her. That physical resistance is down. She is not feeling good. She is already terrified. Terror-ratted right now. Another breath attack. Oh, just going for a cycle charge right at that Death Hag or Marathi. Boom, Marathi it is. Just turns at that last minute. That is going to be pretty crucial here, right? A unit has been wiped out. I wish there was like a haughty British man. I told you that. All right. Looks like the vampire's coming back. I think that vampire might have been chasing stuff off or maybe lost in the background. I saw the thing pop up. It didn't go off. Oh, there it is. Yes. Oh, all up into these Dark Elves' faces. Great move, though. I mean, did you guys see that? King of the Dead moved him back at the last minute. They did still take a lot of damage, but they were still able to maintain through some of it. The biggest thing here is, though, there is not a lot of Vampire Count infantry left, and there is quite a bit of Dark Elf infantry left, not to mention two pretty good, well, waning health Blackguard. Now, you have two large units that are here, so that's not going to be good for them. So you just got to... Loremaster Sotek has to hope he has some Winds of Magic to get off some summons here. Yes, Colbert. Boris Toddbringer. Oh, right. Trying to do cycle charges, getting that Death Hag out as well, which is a good move, because getting that Death Hag out is going to reduce the speed penalty and the melee attack penalty that's going off here. But also, it's just another pinion of leadership for the Dark Elf line. But still, the bounce power is at 50-50. That vampire is stuck in combat now. He has been struck in with a rampage. Death Hag is out of the fight now. Alright. So, this cycle charge is trying to get cycle charging in, trying to knock the leadership down, use the terror. Oh, God, mulching through stuff. Woo! That was wet and wild. Uh-oh. Not good. That's going to stop that cycle charge dead in its tracks. Out of control. Rampage has been triggered on the Red Duke. But hopefully this vampire can come back from Rampage and get a heal off at the last minute. But this might be it, guys. These Witch Elves, though, are starting to get battered out. They are fleeing. Oh, a flee on these Spearmen. Can this happen? Can this get pulled out? I think if this vampire gets knocked out, it's going to be really bad for the Loremaster of Sotek. See you later, Professor Pone. Thanks for jumping in, man. Uh-oh. That boosted their morale, you know, by taking that out. That kind of, like, puts them in better position. But Red Duke is looking for Foe Seeker jumping in and out, getting that vigor, getting that speed back. There's no Witch Elves to really lock him down right now, so... Uh-oh. He's going right for the Witch Elves. He's trying to get rid of those Witch Elves. Uh-oh. Rampage. That might be all she wrote. I think that might be all she wrote for Loremaster of Sotek. Oh, that was... the vampire's death. You're right. It has to have the lore of vampires to use. Invocation of Heck. Whoopsies. Man, that was a close one. And there it is. The Red Duke falls. And King of the Dead pulls ahead 2-0. Like he was already ahead at 1-0. So let's take a look at that. 63 kills and 56 kills on Marathi and the Death Hag, just kind of motion through some kind of base tier units of Skeleton Spearmen, which is really good, right? But using these Harpies against these Fellbats in the very beginning, against the Flying in the very beginning, I think that King of the Dead again was expecting the triple Terrorgeist or just a lot of Terrorgeists and wanted to get them down and out immediately. Loremaster Sotek going with the vampire on the what's it called? Nightmare was a really good choice and a bit different of a one. I don't see it very often, but 188 kills from the Red Duke using 2 really good breath attacks and a third one that just barely missed with the King of the Dead's. Really great ability to move it back right at that last moment. Really, really good here. But Sisters of Slaughter, 153, 110, 201, 149. So many kills being fired off across the line into these Graveguard. The Graveguard weren't able to do a ton of damage. I think the Graveguard with great weapons were against Sisters of Slaughter more often than not, and the Graveguard with great weapons here were against maybe some Blackguard of Nagaron. So it was pretty... Hellsteed, thank you, Hera53. Always fuck that up. I always want to call it a nightmare. I always thought it was a nightmare in tabletop. I'll look at that later. Doesn't matter. But again, guys, great second match here. So many kills. Woo! All right, we're jumping over to our third and maybe final match. If King of the Dead can pull this one out, this is the last match of the day. So to update this scoreboard here real quick. Export as. As it stands, guys, we're at $50 for the prize pool. 25% of that, again, as always, goes towards the winner of today's game here. That updates our scoreboard. Okay. Woo! Hey, Quiet Storm, what's up, man? Let's run this poll again. Thank you. All right. So, we're here at round 3. This might be the final game of the day. Loremaster Sotek playing as the Lizardmen. King of the Dead playing as the Beastmen. If King of the Dead wins right here, he pulls out a 3-0 stomp against Loremaster Sotek. But these have been really close games. It's been very, very good games. It hasn't been a, very one-sided one. So it's really awesome to see how these are going out. That's only one time. I'm okay with that so far. Usually it goes out way more. Kelpin and Coal Dust. Maybe our final map. Who knows? Hey, Hair 53. Good to see you, man. Let's get a look at these armies. I know, the mic's been doing pretty well right up until right now. Okay, so let's go over Sotek's army right here. I love me some Lizardmen lately, so we've got what looks to be some Temple Guard, and by looks to be, I mean it actually is a Temple Guard. Some Skink cohorts there as well, and some Lizardmen, some Saurus Warriors with and without shields. Oh, Temple Guard. So 2 units of Temple Guards, 2 units of Skinks, 1 unit of Saurus Warriors? That's it? Okay. 2 units of Saurus Warriors. So 2 Skinks, 2 Saurus, 2 Temple Guard. Some Skink cohorts with javelins in the very front. Some Skink skirmishers on the flanks. we have a Feral Bastillodon, which is a good choice here. Anti-infantry and AP, so these guys can smack some things around a lot, but they have really, really high armor. So the only thing that can really kind of take these things down are things like Centaurs with great weapons, Bestigors, or Minotaurs with great weapons. So, great choice here. Checking to make sure my mic is fine still. We do have Mazda Mundi on Zlok himself, and... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This used to be a nipple. There used to be a nipple there. There used to be a froggy nipple there. Is it a cat? Scar Veteran as well, so that'll be a really good choice here. He'll be able to knock out pretty heavily into the large creatures here. As you can see across the battlefield, we have quite a Beastman army arrayed against us. Let's take a look here. Oh, I want to take a look at Zlok for Mazda Mighty real quick before we start. So he does have Nets of Amontauk here as well, Curse of Midnight Wind, and Apotheosis. A really good kit for him. Shield of the Old Ones is going to give him a lot of good magic resistance if he has to deal with that here. But he also has a Bound Banishment, so he can use that as he wishes, and Ruination of Cities, as always. We did see some Cold One Spear Riders. Oh, interesting choice to keep those a little over here. There are Cold One Spear Riders there as well that can help bring down any kind of Centaurs. Oh man, look at this. This is pretty brutal. Oh yeah, Sotek and I have a total bromance. So, a lot of throwing axes here in the front. So this is a Vanguard deployment. These guys are going to be able to do a lot of damage with 32 weapon strength on their ranged attacks, with 22 of it being AP. So they can really output a lot of damage in these Temple Guard, and they're very strong picks against Lizardmen. Now, as far as the line goes for King of the Dead as a whole, he's got the best, lots of Bestigors. Looks like 3 total Bestigors, including, of course, Korok's Man Rippers. Now, these guys are awesome. They have anti-large. They have AP as well. So they have their halberd infantry. They have their halberd, so they're going to be able to do quite a bit of damage against the Bastillodon, against the Scar Veteran. Even Zlok himself can really take a beating from these guys. Now, as far as the rest of the army goes, we see a Giant, which is pretty great here because they do have AP. A Bray Shaman of Wild with... Come on. Let me do it. Let me do it. Aha! That did it. With Mantle of Gork and Bray, or the Bray Scream. I thought there was a third one in there. And then, of course, Morgur, the Shadow Gave. Such a competitive pick here. You can use him to summon up so many Chaos Spawn. I love him as an option when I'm playing as the Beastman. And then your Ungor Spearman Herd with shields, the Destroyers of the Drakbald Forest. Now, these guys are great because they have their anti-large and they are poison, so they're going to be pretty effective here, I think. All right, guys. Can Sotek keep in the match, or will this be the last fight of the day? Also has some Chaos Warhounds with poison, which are going to go very well against these skink skirmishers right off the bat. He does have some support right here. Oh, what happened? Uh-oh. No! No! That sucks. Hey guys, my computer, my game crashed, so you might want to quit and jump back out, and then I'll boot the game back up.
No. Okay.
Alright, so let's get this back up here. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why that crashed. But we'll be able to jump into that fight real quick. Game over, man. Game over. I know I had one job, Misha. Don't remind me. I feel like the cat did it. Cat just like sits there and watches me sometimes. Like plotting my demise. Okay. Where is it? There it is. Oh. Let's get that one going again. All right, so we're back in the fight. Sotek's got his army. King of the Dead's got his armies back. About to see some action. Couldn't handle Mazdamundi's hard nipples. It's very true. Artificially building the tension. Guys, I Alt F4 in the middle of that just to get this to happen. Hey, Queek's here. What's up, Queek? How are you, man? Titanic Tuna is not my cat. It's my roommate's cat's. I hate cats. I'm not a cat guy. I'm a dog guy. I want to get a German Shepherd named Saxon. All right. Looks like we're pretty much back to right where we were. Hopefully there wasn't any kind of tomfoolery in looking at their armies and everything. So yeah, it looks like everyone's pretty much just like, yeah, I might have seen some stuff, but it's Mogwai man, well, I'm glad to hear that, man. I don't like cats. Why would you want... If you have a cat, you smell like you own a cat. You know what I mean? I was just staring. What would my ideal dog breed to get eaten by? German Shepherd. Oh man, I'm an R. I'm sorry, dude. Alrighty, we're in full swing here. This Vanguard deployment is already popping off. Let's see how this goes. This is going to be pretty brutal. King of the Dead, rather than pushing, he decided to kind of retreat a little bit here. Interesting move. Didn't want to like get anything caught out by all the skink cohorts with javelins, all the skirmishers. So very interesting play there. I like that. I was expecting an initial engagement right off the bat right there. All right, skirmishers jumping into these Bestigor herds. I mean, you can see they don't have AP, but they still do quite a bit of damage right off the bat. What are we getting here? Oh, Net of Amontok ripping through into the Korok Man Rippers. So he's going to be able to choose that charge. He's going with the Saurus Warriors, which is a good one here. Oh, a nice Shield of the Old Ones. Able to negate a lot of the damage here from that Brave Scream. Good choice. Getting that Feral Bastillodon into these Ungor. Zlok kind of ripping up over there. The Ruination of Cities didn't really get a chance to go, I think, how Sotek wanted it to, but interesting nonetheless. Oh, there it is. Getting some spawn right up into this skink cohorts with javelins. In the back line, we got those Chaos Warhounds getting shut down by the Coldwind Spears and these 2 units of skink skirmishers. They're going to come in to give some fire support to the rest of the army. That's pretty good here because mostly everything's matched up. So he's going to be able to pick and choose what he wants those skink skirmishers to shoot into. Zlok kind of mulling through the backfield. The Scar Veteran choosing... Again, where he wants to go. Yeah, nothing really, no reason to pull him out when you don't need to. This Bestigor herd has been kind of toppled pretty quickly. But we'll see what happens here. I mean, these Destroyers of the Drakbald can really do a lot of damage to this Feral Bastillodon. But it is, they are engaged with Temple Guard. Uh-oh. Thenagor's jumping in here as well. Oh, we have just a royal shit show going on in the center field. Curse of the Midnight Wind has kicked off for them. Is ripping off this whole big huge circle right here is Curse of Midnight Wind. Gotta see over here on the giant. Oh, Banishment. A great banishment by Loremaster of Sotek. Ripping up the backline of those Centaurs. Oh, man. And a good movement on it, too. Oh, and it's coming back. It's coming back. It's moving sideways. It's moving wherever the hell it wants. Oh, damn. That was a good one. That was... Banishment never... I feel like it never, ever turns out well. Uh-oh. Brave Scream, though. Oof. Hits up some of these Temple Guard, but really does a lot of damage to this skink cohort. Now, really good thing here that Loremaster Sotek is doing is he's using Zlok almost like a chariot. He's charging him in, pulling the attention to that direction of the field, then moving him out of the combat. He's making it so that Zlok can't get just captured or caught out and just destroyed. Very, very good move here. But things are going to get pretty dicey here. Scar Veteran is pretty close to those Korok Man Rippers, so he does have to be careful. The Bestigor herds will not stand against Mazdamundi's lock. That will do some definite fear routing. Uh-oh. Ruination of Cities. Kicking off. Getting a good magic resistance onto those guys as well. Ooh, this time far more brutal into the Beastmen line. Doing a ton of damage here. I don't know. I think Loremaster or Sotek is in really good shape here. There are still a lot of Senegors with throwing axes that could really threaten these two, but I think if he just kind of keeps the pressure on, he does have quite a bit of skirmishers on the back area here with the skin cohorts. Skirmishers in the back here shooting into these Ungor spearmen. So these Senegors are going to be able to ride over these guys real fast, though. So that is something to consider as well. Curse of Midnight Wind again kicking off here. Just trying to get any kind of advantage that they can. Charging into more Shadowgave himself. Zlok coming in. Scar Veteran coming in. What kind of damage can they do to the Shadowgave? Throwing axes being chucked at Zlok. Uh-oh. Bray Scream ripping into those skin cohorts with javelins. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Man, that's been wild. Trying to go for the Alpha Strike here on Shadowgave, but Shadowgave is extremely tanky. He does need to be in combat for a lot of his abilities, and he does have quite a good stat line for that. You know, he does have low armor, but I mean, all things considered. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Oh, God, there it is. He does have there it is. Low armor, but all things considered, he does a lot of damage. He's got decent enough melee defense, so he can really stay in it for the long haul. I mean, the whole principle of his fight. We got a net. Oh, another banishment ripping through this backline here. Not backline, but what's remaining of these Bestigors back through the army. Unfortunately, into his own army. Damn. Block is starting to get targeted down by the spearmen, by the Senegors. And things were going very, very well for Sotek, but it looks like things are starting to shift yet again. That's kind of been the motif here, right, guys? It's shifted back and forth with these three fights. Oh man, Block doesn't like this. Block hates throwing axes. No! Shield of the Old Ones. Cold Blood has kicked off on him. Give him a little bit of healing here. Trying to keep his health alive, going right into those Senegors with throwing axes, which is a good choice. Lock down the thing that's doing the most damage to him. Scar Veteran, though, is not in good shape. There's pretty much no Lizardmen forces left on the board. I mean, ground forces, at least, as you can see. Mazdamundi. I've been playing Battle for Azeroth, the new World of Warcraft expansion, and it's just like all Lizardmen themed if you're Horde. See here, these Skaven skirmishers trying to just ride off, or not Skaven skirmishers, these Skink skirmishers trying to ride off and get back into the fight as best they can. This is all that Sotek has left. This is the last vestiges of his resistance. A Quiet Storm. We have Loremaster of Sotek as the Lizardmen, and we have King of the Dead as the Beastmen. This Bestigor herd is really... Uh-oh. Oh, Bray Scream ripping up some of them Skink skirmishers. That Bray Shaman has gotten 3 really good Bray Screams off this entire fight. Oof. Nice. Nice. Trying to use the large presence of Mazdamundy, get any kind of terror or charge riding out of here. Already pushed 3 of the scarier infantry units out of that fight. But I don't know if they can pull this off. I mean, they have to keep these Senegors locked down. That's why he netted them earlier. He's going with some additional magic resist here, trying to prevent any kind of Bray Screams coming out. Having the Skaven skirmishers eat up that giant is a good call. Those Skaven skirmishers now are hit up with those Senegors with throwing axes. And those guys are going to be able to topple them pretty easily. So now it looks like Shadowgave versus Zlok. Check, check, check. Okay, good. Skirmishers just kind of shooting away, chipping away at stuff. These skin cohorts have come back so many times. Look at them. There's just Taurus Warriors. I think it's the skin cohort. They're just so bloodied and beaten. But this unit of Centaurs is going to be the nail in their coffin as it just kind of knocks apart their leadership. Getting any kind of apotheosis heals he can out here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Army losses. And there we have it, guys. Whew. That was pretty wild. I definitely thought Sotek had that one, especially at the end there. Wow. I mean, those Ungor Spearmen actually performed pretty well. 112 kills. I didn't think that they would have performed as well against skin cohorts. But, I mean, like we said, those Centaurs with throwing axes, 26, 27, 27, 97 kills from them. The Bestigors got quite a bit as well. 75, 63, 45. Woo-hoo-hoo. Man. Temple Guard 83 and 27 though. Mazda Money 126. He got quite a bit with that second Ruination of Cities and that Banishment. The Brave Shaman only got 35 kills. I would have thought it would have been more because of the amount of screams he got off. But that is our tournament. Looks like King of the Dead is going to be winning here with a 3-0 sweep against Sotek and 3 really good battles here. Someone in chat was saying pretty much that, where is it? I want this to be PNG. Was saying that what they noticed about King of the Dead is he plays pretty safe with really strong frontline builds and kind of picks apart his enemy from there. I couldn't agree with you more. Like that is like spot on what I've noticed with King of the Dead. And man, that was look at their face scoreboard. That was some great play. That was some good gameage. Let's jump into the chat with these two gents and see how they what their thoughts were. Alrighty, guys. Woo.
Ooh.
Ooh. Sotek, that was wet and wild. That last one, you were using your coveted Lizardmen. I mean, I thought you had it, especially around like the half point of the game. Like, what do you think was like the big turning point for you?
I think he's AFK. Oh.
No, I'm back.
Oh.
Honestly, I have no idea what happened. Like, I felt really good about that, and then all of a sudden, like, he did it. Like, the only thing I can think is I wasn't able to get my skinks close to the front line because he pretty much always had a unit able to chase them off, so I wasn't able to put enough damage onto the giant with shooting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know what happened, honestly. Like, there were a couple moments where I thought I was going to be able to turn it around, but at that point the balance of power bar got low enough against me that even when my skinks were like pursuing a unit off the field, they just broke while they were like trying to chase somebody off.
Interesting.
So I don't know. I felt I was happy with how I played all 3 games, but I started off strong and then I just kind of seemed to have lost momentum in all 3 games.
I think it was Terror Road actually for the front line because I thought you really had that. I think I Terror Roaded your guys with a giant.
Yeah, that could be it. It could be that the giant was just breaking everything.
Also, Kill Spawn and also Brace Scream really did a good job of damaging your infantry slowly.
Yeah, I was gonna say that though. You got King of the Dead. You got a lot of Brace Screens off. So you think you got 3 off, and one of my favorite points in the game. Sotek, you casted Shield of the Old Ones and Ruination of Cities, and then King of the Dead, you casted Brace Scream, like right before the Shield of the Old Ones went off, or in the middle. I can't remember, but like that was ripped through everything between both of you guys. Like just this brutal like 2 punch at one of each other's throats. Like it was awesome. It was awesome. So, King of the Dead, you have now won. You are another proud recipient of the Warpstone Cup. Loremaster of Sotek.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Thanks for joining us here. As always, guys, do go check out Loremaster of Sotek's channel. He has a YouTube channel dedicated to lore, just as myself, but as we've talked about before, he does much better deep dives into individual characters of the Warhammer series, going into their individual timelines from basically all their source material, rather than my kind of like a top-down view from like an 8th edition viewpoint.
I also post dog videos and quick battles, so yeah, come by.
Oh yeah, man. What's your dog's name again?
Chloe.
Oh, Chloe's so goddamn cute. She's a white lab or a golden retriever?
She's a white lab, Great Pyrenees. She's amazing.
She's the
Why don't you get by like a tarantula, like a sophisticated man? Come on, man.
Oh my god. King of the Dead, where are you from again? Well, the chat was asking.
Belgium.
Ah, someone said Norway. Someone's like, I think it's Norway. Man. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us here. King of the Dead, you are the proud recipient of a quarter of $50. So I will get that out to you on PayPal or something like that. But thanks for joining us here, guys. And we'll jump on back over to chat. No, he's from Belgium. He's from Belgium. He's from Belgium. All right, everybody. That concludes our second Warpstone Cup. King of the Dead is our second recipient, amongst Janet on occasion is our very first recipient of the Warpstone Cup. We will be having more of these as we go along. $50 is the current prize pool, so let me actually calc. So 50 divided by 4, $12.50 will be going on over to King of the Dead. I don't know anything about the goddamn conversion rate, so I'll be getting that over to him. And I get a Warpstone Cup. Queek, I will give you the biggest of Warpstone Cups, my bro. But as always, guys, thanks so much for joining us here today. We'll have some great videos coming out here for you. I'm going to have a Kislev Armulus video. I swear to God, I'm actually going to have it done soon. A cool video on like the kind of the top campaign lores. A bunch of cool stuff. Yeah, and a huge hats off to King of the Dead, to Loremaster of Sotek, to Jordan for joining us, and to Hadres. If you haven't, guys, again, King of the Dead and Hadres you can find in Turn and I's Discord chat. You can also find Loremaster Sotek on his channel. And if you want to see more of Jordan, Jordan always plays with Wheelin on the Total War official Twitch. So do go and head on over there and check them out if you want to watch them stream. But as always, guys, thanks so much for watching here today. Have a good weekend. It is a 3-day weekend if you're in the United States. But have a good one. And let me press a live credits button. Fucking rude of me, right? Full credits live. But as always, guys, have a good one and take care. Let this roll a little bit. Where is it? There it is. There's those credits. See here. Great stream, Ryan. Thank you very much, JWA. I'm glad you liked it, man. And thanks again to our admins for all kind of like sticking in and watching through everything. Quick, good to see you, man. GG to you as well. Later, Titanic Tuna. Have a good one, man. Later, Rise and Chaos. Good to see you too, dude. All right, guys. Have a good one and